volatility. Oh boy. What's up, everyone? How are you doing, YouTube? What's up? Good afternoon, morning, evening, night, wherever you live in the world. What's up? How you doing? Good to have you here. So we were chatting in Telegram. Nick, good to see you here, right? We were talking general chat, and yeah, let's go live and observe what happens on the charts. Let me open my webcam over here as well. There we go. Making sure everything is set and ready. And let's see if we get some volatility today. We have been in this range for a very long period of time. And yeah, it's about time something happens now. So let's be live for a while and observe if we get anything interesting, the yes or the no. So Mondo Tov, first one indeed. You are the first. Very, very quick after I put the stream online. I'm actually not sure anymore when you do get and where you don't get notifications. Complete clueless, but you were definitely the first one. Nick, what's up? Eric Lambo, how you doing? Third indeed. And Vitor Montero, welcome, welcome. Okay, so we have a slow bleeding grind to the downside, which was constantly being supported by bearish CVD divergences. Now, all these bearish CVD divergences have played out. New York is now open. The bearish CVDs are neutralized. I don't think we have any bullish CVD divergences at the moment. We can keep an eye on the local time. No, there's so. We have a bit of a swinger, you suppose, a bit of a liquidity grab in the very, very local mini range. I mean, there's not too much happening there on the very, very local time frame. But live in New York open, yeah, nice timing. Maybe I should do that almost as like a standard. Hey, New York is open, let's go live. But you know, sometimes nothing happens and sometimes a lot happens. So, by the way, I got some feedback as well from you lot. Thanks for that. And what I will do is after live streams, I will put a timestamp like when the analysis part starts, and then I put another timestamp where the chatting part starts. So for the VOD viewers, in case you're like coming in later, you can go to the analysis section. I won't do all the individual timeframes per scenario, right? That's more like something I do in the more like the short form. I mean, live streaming is long form, and then the 10-minute videos is, you know, the short form content, I suppose. So, but then at least you know what section of the live stream is the analysis. Oh boy, we still got a little of a little itch as well, but I got my bottle of water. So let's have a look then, shall we? Agreed with it. Yeah, I will. Yeah. I think that will make your life easier. The chatting section can go any direction. There's many questions, so it's very difficult to timestamp all of that stuff. But at least the analysis part we can do, you know. So Mirovsky, welcome. True Earthman, welcome as well. Good to have you here. Mindless Musician, that's a nice name, no? Okay, I'm gonna actually start with this local range, which of course has been a pain, and pretty much this is the important level, and this, right? I mean, ta-da, but it's not that easy. And I mentioned, oh, I still have the probabilities on my thing here. I mentioned on the low time frame here, it remains very difficult to end the structure with the high here. But we do have the bearish CVDs building, and we'll observe the reaction. Let's do some Elliott waves in this range and see where we get, right? See where we get. So what's up, Albert? How are you doing? Every time I see RRS, by the way, it makes me think of, I think, the Renault, like it's not like the Renault race edition car thing. I don't know what RRS stands for, but I have to think about a car all the time when I see it. Okay, so let's get started then. I want to start with the range. Yes, this here. Wait, let's actually start with a clean range, clean sheet. There we go. Range Rover Sport. RS is Renault Sport. Ah, there we go. Okay, Range Rover Sport. I see. Okay, now I finally got clarity. I will never forget. RS and RRS. That's the difference. How long will you stream? I actually don't know. What's my agenda here? I did pretty good on my meals today. Let's just see what we get with the chart. If there's some volatility, if it becomes boring price action, then you know, I'll likely continue my emails and stuff. But now that New York is open, you know, maybe something interesting happens. So I thought it was a pretty good time. I have one, but I sold it. I see Clio RS, Megane RS. Yeah, exactly. So this range. Very complex. Possibly, Lucas. Possibly. What's up, Watty, as well? Vincent, welcome as well. SP and DQ are dumping. That's interesting. So we can have a look at that later. Okay, so this range, very, very, very complex counting. And there is, at the same time, a lot of possibilities, but also no possibilities on how to count this structure. It's very wave 4-y. Right, as mentioned with the scenario shared in the afternoon stream just before the wave 5, right, because of the pivot change here on the lower time frames. The one on the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, move to the upside, right? So that is why the pivot changed locally. So in this range, arguably a wave 4. The difficulty I have is I still can't really end a corrective structure here. Look, we don't have many structures, right? We have ABC, we have a WXY, right? Let me actually put the lines on because we're gonna do some head scratching, right? Always interesting. We have the WXY and the WXYX Z, which is the most rare one. So here we go. Oh, and if we talk about a W or an ABC, of course you also have the flat, right? You also have the flat structure, most commonly expanding flat. So pretty much this is what we have and what we have to work with. Now let's look at these in this range from left to right, and then we'll get to why it's difficult to end a corrective structure here, right? Which of course kind of translates in why would this be the high? You know what I mean? So a flat, well, we don't have a flat, right? For a flat structure, you need to go below the 0.9 Fibonacci taken from the low to the high, and then a 3, 3, 5. We did not go to the 0.9. We also didn't take the low. So a flat structure, no, right? Gone. Then we have a zigzag, 5, 3, 5. In this case, we want to see a 5. This is a 3, so we have to end A here. Then you need an enormous, crazy, big wave B. I mean, look at your A, look at your very big B here. But you still need a C to the upside. And from this low, we can't get a C up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, this low is lower than that low. Doesn't work. You can't have a diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your wave 4 is nothing compared to your 2. Low probabilities that is the case, right? We can't count this as a 5er. Or if we do, this would be your top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, one can argue this is a 2, this is your 4, and that's your 5. But then you have overlap between the high of your 1 and the low of your 4. So you have to talk about diagonals. But yeah, it's not too nice there. So let's go to the 3 minute, have a little zoom. Okay, 1 minute. I rarely ever go to the 1 minute, but we're checking. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. The best end here, 2, 4, 5, but then your 5 has overlap with your 4 over here, lowering the probabilities of an impulse, or actually invalidates an impulse, increasing probabilities of a diagonal or double 1-2s. But yeah, this here being any form of a diagonal is not great probabilities as well. So the ABC zigzag is a very awkward structure in this range. Click. Oh, by the way, I also saw scenarios where this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for some people, truncated 5. So they are then thinking about this. Expanding diagonal in your wave A. Truncation in general is extremely rare and never preferred. So therefore, and it's a truncation on top of an expanding structure as well, which is rare upon rare, is very, very rare. You know what I mean? So probabilities are low for this scenario and higher for this high to not be the end of a 5, but something corrective. WXY. W can be a zigzag or a flat. X can be anything. Y can be a flat zigzag or a triangle. Well, W needs to be a 3-wave structure. We can put W here. That's okay. What's up, Abuz Nisok? How you doing, man? So we can put W there. And I'm just thinking here for a second if we can put it anywhere else in this range. So a little bit of thinking. Could we put a W there? W has to be a zigzag or a flat. Well, we know this is not a flat. So then this has to be a zigzag. But that's of course not looking great. Because then you need a 5, 3, 5. W can't be an internal WXY. So you need a 5, 3, 5. 5 and then yeah, 3, 5. It just, and this also has a higher probability of being a 3-wave structure, not a 5-wave structure to the high. So no, it's not many positions for this W, but this one, right? Okay, so then we have to look for X. Now X can be any corrective structure, which can make it very complex. But when we look at the range, there's only so many options that would fit even for a wave X. Wave X can be a flat, can be a zigzag, a double zigzag, triple zigzag, triangle, right? Can be anything. WXY, WXY, right? Holy moly. So when we look for this wave X, we got a 3-wave structure here. This is just looking at the chart, right? An A, arguably this is a 5-wave move, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the lower time frames. So there is the potential here that this is a zigzag in a wave A, B, C. B being then a triangle structure. Put the measurement out, do a quick little check here. From the high to the low to the end. 1.618 is touched. That's fine. For a wave C, that's still a common target. So okay, so what if we put X here? If we put X here, we encounter a problem with Y, because Y can now only be a flat or a triangle, meaning 3-wave A, B or below, right? At least a 0.9 retracement of your A, and then a C. Clearly that is not the case. Second option, triangle. Triangles, 4 out of the 5 waves need to be a zigzag structure. Only one wave is allowed to not be a zigzag, and then it can be a double or triple zigzag, so it still is zigzag family. And well, I should actually correct myself there. 4 out of 5 waves have to be zigzag. If one is not a simple zigzag in a 5-3-5 ABC, usually it's wave C and D with a double or triple zigzag, mainly double. But wave E by itself can also be a triangle. So then you have a triangle in a triangle, which makes it very complex, incredibly rare as well, but not something that we should forget, right? It's just the rules. So for wave Y, we can't have a flat because we don't have one. So then we are stuck with a triangle. Now, when we look for wave A is pretty much, if this is the low of your X, and this would be your A in a triangle, A, B, C, D, E, your wave A is already complex. 3-wave structure to the upside, ending on the highest amount of volume, very wave C-ish, this move, very much a 3-wave structure. Potentially here an internal zigzag ABC, ABC, W, X, Y. That's not what we want. We want WXYs in C or D, not in A. Besides, if this is a WXY, the problem is that here we have another 3-wave structure. Here we have another 3-wave structure. Here we have another potential WXY. You see, we also can't really get a triangle here. So therefore, either this X is wrong or it's not a WXY. Now we already cancelled the ABC. And the WXYXZ is the most rare corrective structure. So we wait with that one for a second. So let me have a quick think here. If this is a zigzag in your W and this is your X, then we also don't have a flat here because we did not correct to the 0.9. Oh. Mate. I'm clicking the wrong ones. That one. No, we didn't. So because the WXYXZ is so rare, I have the feeling this wave X is very long. Now counting this in a lot of detail is of course a pain in the ass, right? We constantly had local bearish CVD divergences all the time. That's something I've mentioned in the video just now. You want to see proof of support, right? As long as you don't, probabilities are higher for a move down and you're going to be stuck with the wave 4 that is finished and a move down. Of course, it's interesting to try and puzzle what this is, but generally, if you don't see proof of support somewhere here locally and you just grab the liquidity of another high and start moving down, we're going to go into a wave 5, right? That has the highest probability. And then after this range breaks out, we don't even have to really count this in a lot of detail. But what I mentioned to silver as well is because of the little bearish CVD divergences all the time. Here was another one, by the way, at 3:15 CET, which was about like 45 minutes ago. More bearish CVD divergences, right? Which just increases bearish probabilities because we do not have any strength at the moment. Unrelated to how we are trying to count this this structure, so we can't put X over here. It's probably this is one of the very difficult ranges. This is a zigzag, so you can have a W, another one here, but then what? WXY, then your X has to be here, and then your wave Y, A, B, C, D, E. That is not nice because A is again a double zigzag, so it doesn't really work. So we're getting out of options here with the WX and the Y. WX, Y, wait, this could be the end here. WX flat in Y, and then we have a wave Y, which then has to be a flat structure, 3x 5. This doesn't really look like a fiver, but then I would count it. Oh, that yeah, this has a possibility here. Oh, that's a possibility. Let me do a quick check here from this to that to. Oh, that's a very shallow X. So basically the lesson of what I'm doing here for you as a viewer is pretty much when you get such a difficult range, you put the scenarios on your chart or in your head. You know, usually I don't put them on the chart. I mean, you can see it. I always or usually have my chart sharing on, so you can see what I do. But you just go through the scenarios. You know the rules. You're just gonna check the boxes. Can you end a structure here, a corrective structure? That is the big question, right? Because if you can, there's the potential for a move down. If it is incredibly difficult to end something here, probabilities are higher to take the high. So that is, you're basically trying to solve the problem of what has the highest probabilities by trying to basically debunk what scenario doesn't work. And by checking if the scenarios don't work, you figure out the scenarios that do work. Even by not knowing what the exact count is, you'll eventually figure out what has the highest probability by basically checking off like the scenarios that just don't work, right? And the ABC doesn't really work, so we're stuck with WXY or WXYXZ. And here wave X can be down here, and being a zigzag, wave X most commonly is a zigzag. Or wave X can be a W, an X, and a Y. WX here and a Y. This can be a W as well. So I can't put WX Y, that doesn't work. WX Y. Then wave X here. W zigzag. X then is a, well, this is a problem. This can't be a W because of this being a 3, 3, 3. And wave W can be an internal WXY, and it looks very 3-wavy, all of this. So it's also not an ABC because B is not deep enough. Even this doesn't work. WXYX, like WXYX, this is of course a Z. Even that doesn't work because then this is your Y, which again is a double zigzag. Like this is a single zigzag, correction, zigzag. So you see the probabilities are, it's very difficult to end a structure here, which, you know, generally would increase probabilities to take it. However, because we are ranging here for so long and there's so much liquidity at the bottom, some bearish CVDs locally, I'm definitely not in a position to jump the gun, if you know what I mean, right? Take this high and the probabilities would increase to move to the upside, of course. So that's enough of a move. But we're trying to explain if this can be a high, and at the moment we didn't yet found something. And also usually when something becomes too complex, it like Elliott waves is also a lot about keeping things simple, no? So we have a lot of difficulty getting a wave Y there. Okay, so WXYXZ then. W, zigzag in X, most common. Then we need a Y. But Y can't be a double zigzag like we have here. It needs to be a simple structure in a zigzag flat or a triangle, but not in a WXYZ. Triangles are then for Z, usually. I mean, can be Y, but. So then we have WX, arguably Y is here, WX, Y, and then X, and your Z. But, yeah. WX, Y, X, Z. Oh, wait. W, X, Y, X, Z. A, B, C. But then you're stuck again with this. This has to then be a 5-wave structure, but it's such an ugly 5-wave move. This looks so much like a 3, correction, 3. Like, holy moly. So even a WXYXZ is difficult here. Let me pull a few trend lines here. Just for the sake of, don't confuse this with a triangle, by the way. Sometimes it just helps to get trend lines going. Because with a triangle, if this would be your A, B, well, C took the high of A, that's not allowed, right? If this is your A, B, C, D, E over here, then you have your W, X, and then again a Y, but then your Y can't be a zigzag, has to be a flat. So you need to look for A, B, C, but wave B by itself is not allowed to be a flat structure inside a bigger flat. So wave B in a bigger flat can't be a flat, or at least low probabilities. The probabilities go down for a flat if wave B in a flat is a flat by itself, basically. But even here, if this is your A, you have a B, which is also awkward because B is then a double zigzag here, and then you have your like C, D, E. It's so yeah, A, B, C, D, E. Imagine that's, but then your B is also complex here, so it just doesn't make sense having a triangle here at the moment. So yeah, as you can see, what I mentioned in the video is that it is very difficult to end a corrective structure here at the high. WXY, WXYXZ. Now, years of experience, but I think this is one of these ranges where you probably just want to wait for the low or the high to be taken. It's been quite a clear range when it started. All right, and even yesterday, it's been a good day with the move down, with the move up, right? We were waiting for the move to the downside. We knew, hey, we can't end a range over here, right? We just couldn't. So we were looking for the highs to be taken, right? Because if you can't really end a range at a high, you're pretty much waiting for a continuation of the range or the high to be taken. Now, yesterday we were live and said, well, you know, it doesn't really look like the end of a range. We moved down. We're not scared. We're looking for a zigzag, move back up, took the high. Nice. But now it's like a similar scenario where this is very difficult to count as a high. But because we had the same stuff yesterday with this one, you know, I'm not too comfy to be part of this range anymore. Either look for the high or the low, but probability-wise, it's still incredibly difficult to count this as the high. So let's change this for a second and make this the low of 5. This is something that KG came with in this scenario here. So here you can see a truncated 5. Very rare that we get truncations, but a possibility. Now also what you can see is that KG has the potential ending diagonal here. I actually wonder, the 1 and the 2 must be on the left side, of course, because we don't see the 2 here. He has the dotted lines being a contracting diagonal on the higher time frame. So that means pretty much this probably has to be your 2, but somewhere here So 2 is of course not allowed to go below 1. So either you start the diagonal here or you start it here. And then a 1 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wonder if KG is here. So because it is so difficult to end a count here, it would increase probabilities to take the high again. But we're so long in this range now, and like Paulus de Jong says as well, he hasn't been in a trade for nearly a week. Which I think is a great decision if you don't really know what's going on anymore. Now, luckily for myself, I have been. But today is one of those days where we took the high here. That's what we were waiting for because we couldn't really end something here. So we got that done. We wait for the daily naked point of control to give us a reaction. We were waiting for this level to be hit for like the whole time, right? Since the moment this range started, after this day was ended on like Friday, we got the point of control on the chart all that time. So we were looking for it to be hit. It's now hit, so it's cleared. So we cleared that resistance. Remains difficult to end something here. So if we then look at what KG has, then this would be the end of his 5. So a truncated 5, right? Rare, uncommon, but something we can never forget. And you can see he has the WX and then a wave Y to the upside. So let me just copy his count and we'll talk about it here. KG, by the way, is a great Elliott Wave counter himself as well. He shares in the group. In case you're part of Discord, you will sometimes see him in the group as well. Usually he is in the others TA. Okay, so now we check if this works. So then this is of course your 4, meaning, by the way, you then have your 1 and your 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. And then your 5 ends with a diagonal style here because of all the overlap and the 618 touch for wave 4 as well. So it has to be something like that in that move to the downside. That is also what KG has if I would zoom in here. Now again, in the WXY, we go back to the rules, right? Step by step. It's literally like Elliott Waves is pretty much, once you know the steps, you just turf the boxes. W can only be a zigzag or a flat. X, anything. Y, zigzag, flat, triangle. If W is a zigzag, wave Y can't be a zigzag. That's it, right? WXY is not allowed inside Y or inside wave W. Now if we go to the 15, then we encounter a bit of an issue because, for example, here, W, preferably in this case, is a zigzag because we don't have a flat, right? B did not retrace deep enough to the downside. Arguably, you have a flat over here in a wave B. And we don't want a wave B flat in a wave B of a bigger flat. Lowers the probabilities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possible A, B, but then we need a wave C. 1, 2, 3. Where's our 4 and our 5, right? In that move to the upside, because of course we are looking for a zigzag. Now, inside this W, it could be a bit hidden, but if I had to pick one little range that's a 2, it's this one. I've actually been here before on a 3-minute time frame. For then a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5. Even though this wave 4, of course, it's very long compared to your 2. Oh, pop, 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 pop. So, I don't know, wave 4, depends. Your last candle is here at 5. So, it's not a great zigzag. Not a great zigzag. But it will be a zigzag in this scenario because it's definitely not a flat. And then we need X again. So, either your wave Y is already in, but wave Y arguably is a double zigzag by itself, which is not allowed because a double zigzag is a WXY, which then means X. But here we have a zigzag, correction, arguably another zigzag. So that has to be the low of your X, because that can't be, this can't be an internal W or something for X. You can't have that. So that means then your Y finishes here. But then wave Y is again more like a double zigzag structure, unless we can get a ABC in here. But the chart is not giving us very clear signs. It all looks three wavy. Like we miss the five waves. We miss the impulsive structures. The only thing we see is bearish CVDs building all the time, right? Constantly during this move to the downside. Which is a challenge. So let's zoom out then. Make life a little bit easier. Especially with Elliott waves, the moment it becomes difficult on the lower time frame, zoom out. Don't zoom in. Zoom out. I've been there in the past when I was less experienced, that I didn't know all the rules. So of course everything I did was doubtful. And eventually I find myself counting 1 minute impulses. Try not to do that unless your name is John, because John in Discord is actually very good in counting the lower time frames. But usually you want to stick at the 15-minute or higher. So a conclusion of this range here, besides it being obviously very complex, is that it remains quite difficult to end a structure here nicely following the Elliott wave rules. Now, because of this, probabilities are interesting to take the high. However, where's my probability box? Where did I move it to? Oh wait, it's not yet on. Lol. However, this is from the previous video, right? 1 p.m. video. I write neutral. Now, I don't often use the word neutral in my probabilities. It's quite rare. But because it's difficult to end something here, one would say, bullish, right? Like you expect to move up. Even if you look for an A, B, C, you're still looking for upside in a flat structure, even though your wave A needs to be a corrective structure, which is difficult to finish. So that is also the reason why we got the leading diagonal as another option, because it is difficult to end a corrective structure here. We have to look at the bullish structures as well. We have to, right? And this is something Stuba came with in Discord as well. This is a screenshot from the chart he shared in Discord. I think like what, yesterday or something. So just because it's so difficult to end something here, we have to consider bullish scenarios as well. But we want to see proof of support, because we've been in this range for so long that now, we're here, we're in this range already for a while. Counting this correctively becomes very difficult. So preferably, we now get some signs, right? Unless you are range trading and forget about Elliott waves, you just trade from down, up, down, just trade the range until it breaks, type of thing. But from an Elliott waves perspective, difficult to end a correction here. We have to consider potential bullish scenarios. Now, what I also wrote, which you can see over here, is this low is interesting as well. And that is why eventually probabilities are neutral. It's actually because of this low here. Because on Femex, this low took that low. Now, if you think about a leading diagonal, that's not possible, right? Wave 2 can't go below wave 1. Now, most charts don't have that problem. It's just one person in chat the other day mentioned, yeah, but on Femex we do have it. So this is the index chart. We have a higher low on index. We have a higher low on Binance. We have a higher low on Bitstamp. We have a higher low on Bybit. And if we go to Femex, then interestingly, we have a lower low on Femex. This is not helping the probabilities for a bullish scenario, right? This is BTC USDT spot trading pair on Femex. Let's check other. Do you have more? BTC USD. Let's see if Femex. Oh wait, maybe not put the Let's see if we got more. Let's just check MACD for the fun and giggles. Also higher. BTC USD. So we're just gonna check. Get a bit of an idea here. Wait, where's Femex? Like, never mind. Kraken. Also a higher low. So by far most of the charts have a higher low in this area. And not a lower low. So, but just because we know that that low has been taken, we have to keep it in mind with the probabilities. You know, so therefore it adds probabilities to downside, making it neutral, right? Yeah, it's difficult to end the corrective structure here. That's bullish. But this low has been taken on Femex. It's bearish, right? It's not preferred. This wave 2 almost hit the 886. And a normal impulsive structure, that would be a rare occasion, but in a diagonal it is possible for a wave 2 to go very deep. On some charts the 886 has been hit. It remains a less common target for 2, but in a diagonal a 2 going to the 886 is more acceptable than in a impulsive structure. Yeah, Femex is the only one, Jared. So, but it's just something to consider, at least. So, of course, the probability, like probability-wise, right? Very difficult to end the corrective structure here, increasing probabilities to take the high. But, whoops. On some charts, the 886 got hit. It is valid for a leading diagonal, but for a wave 2, it remains a less common target, even in a leading diagonal. It's very deep, so something to consider, but it is valid. Low taken on Femex, the only chart. So yeah, what you say, Jared, you know, possibly we have to leave that one out because Index, Binance, Bybit, Bitstamp, right? The other charts, Kraken, they didn't take the low. And the diagonal, it's taken a while, but that's not really impacting the probabilities per se, but I did wanted to write it down because if we zoom out, it's of course quite a big structure by now. In time, it's a big structure in time. So this move down was very short, right? A, B, C, finished, potential of 4, and then this in a 1, 2. So basically, if this is a leading diagonal of this size, what's the probabilities of this being an ABC versus the beginning of an impulse? Probably, I would then prefer this to be the beginning of an impulsive structure because of the size of this thing here. Because if we are looking for a move up, right? If we take the upper white line and we have a leading diagonal in a wave A, we are going to be looking for this scenario here, because then we're going to go into all the 3 waves. So then what we get is A, B, C, right? This is then a zigzag. And then you're going to be looking for an ABC. B was took also a long time, but not the impulsive structures were quick. So nonetheless, though, you would then expect price to move up. If you move up to the 618, remember the 618, 44.4K, 44.9K. If price hits that level first before potentially moving down, there is the potential for upside. I disagree with that statement, because if we go up once more, I mean wave 4, if we go up once more and take this high, wave 4 already will have low probabilities because of the length of the wave 4. Now, if this is the high of your 4, that's okay. It's okay. It's allowed. It's before the 5 pip time. But if you go up once more, yeah, probabilities go down. That, you know, that's a high of a 4, and then you're going to be looking for bigger corrective structures or continuation. So then you're looking for either an ABC down or 3 continuation up. So pretty much when you take the high, and that is why zooming out matters at times, because of the clarity that it can provide, is when you take this high over here, probabilities increase. First of all, you're gonna fill the daily gap, which we have here. Tested twice, tested once, tested twice. This is your gap. Going up here again increases probabilities to fill the gap. It's quite simple. That's gap trading basically. So that is something we keep in mind. Oh, Douwe. Oh damn! I literally had a message I was typing, and then I clicked on the live button. Wait, let me still send it to you. Wait, let me press enter. There we go. Tuck. Okay. I'll send you a message after the live. I was typing to you, but then I saw the price section in New York opened, so I went live, and then I forgot. I see your name in the chat now. I replied to you on Discord now. But if you go up here again, probabilities are good to fill the gap. Yeah, we have a little bit of resistance still, right? Which is this value area high with the white box here at the 44K area, 44 to 44.5K. But in gap trading and using gap knowledge basically, which is relevant on all the time frames, by the way, very much recommended, probabilities would be higher to fill the gap. And the high of the gap is at 45.555. And we have a target box just above for resistance, 45.9, 46.7K. So of course, from an Elliott Wave point of view, we then want to see price move up. However, before price gets here, we'll probably get a good idea of the structure that is forming, right? So we can assess the probabilities here. Now let me have a quick look here. Still nothing going on. A little bit of, that's a question, a little bit of bullish CVD here. High low in price, low low in blue and on yellow. So a little bit of bullish CVD, but that's very low time frame. But that's a start. So if price then moves up, takes this high, probabilities would increase for price to move up, of course. We don't just YOLO FOMO and catch an eyes on this channel, right? Have good reasons to enter anywhere in the range, above, below, whatever you do, long, short, doesn't matter. As long as you have a plan and a strategy based on statistics, you're going to be good down the line. But if we do manage to take this high, then it opens the door for this. Either ABC flat in and we look for upside, 50K next YOLO, and then we have a potential zigzag. ABC, reach the target box, which would be my main resistance area here, to the upside and then down. If price can pass this resistance box here, which is around the golden pocket, as you can see, I'd be looking for the highs to be taken. If you can flip this, tuck, 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 maybe some bullish local CVD, flip it, right? But that is, of course, if you take the high, this is where it becomes relevant, because at the moment, fibs taken from the high to the low, you only hit the 236, which is very rare for a B or a 2 to already do this, right? Then the probabilities are higher if price does this, that this is a wave 4 or A, B, C for a flat and come back down later. The moment you take this low, lower prices, even if you take the low, immediately go up. Generally, probabilities would be higher to probably look for a little lower, no? And we observe the reaction. So but if we're looking for a wave 2 or a wave B, then it's very rare for the correction to be finished here. 382 to 886, that's your target. So even if you do this, you want to see this. But preferably, to get more confidence, you want to see the highs taken. Because if price moves down now and takes the low, it's very difficult to see if it's going to be a wave B or a potential wave 5. 5, much like lower prices, right? You're going to visit lower areas. For a wave B, we want a 3-wave structure. This is what I wrote in the probabilities as well in the previous video. One second. Let's see. Maybe like what, 30 minutes? There we go. Congratulations. So here, right? You can also just ask once, you know. Lol. So if price moves down directly, probabilities increase for a 5, which is an impulse. So then we're looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a wave 5 to lower prices. For a wave B, in this scenario, we want a zigzag. So we want at least a bit of a bounce before continuation. Doesn't mean we bounce here and move back up, right? Because for a wave 5, which is an impulsive structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, it's just quite clear if price just does this without any significant bounce, probabilities for a 5 are higher, right? A 5 can be pretty much a straight line as well at times, like the 3. So, and this wave 1 was very, very, very quick in time. And generally wave 5 and wave 1 have a bit of a time and price relationship with each other. So if wave 5 takes too long here, it lowers the probabilities of a wave 5, increases the probabilities of a wave B, right? Usually wave 1 and 5 are related in time between the 0.618 and the 1.618, which in both cases has already been passed. Now because wave 1 is so sharp, I do allow wave 5 to be a little bit longer, but we don't want a very long wave 5, right? That's not what we are really looking for. Impulse to the downside is fine, but then we also prefer to have a quickie unless it's going to be a diagonal. A diagonal generally takes a while. Oh, this is the John I was talking about, by the way. He's the great Elliott Wave counter on the 1, 3 and 5 minutes. He's the one in the group that you will see on those type of time frames. That's him. So that's why in the probabilities I had this section here. If we move down in a straight line, probably a 5, because we want to mimic the price action of 1, go down quick. If it takes too long, too slow, or we get a solid 3 waver, probabilities increase for the ABC. So we're going to be looking for price to move up, which is also your typical power of 3. So for the ones that don't know, but probably many people know, your power of 3, this is your accumulation area. You get your, I don't like to use that word, liquidity grab area. I prefer that one, that's much better, right? And then you get your pump area. Now in Elliott waves, the power of 3 can be different structures. In this case, we're looking for a wave A and then a B, grab the liquidity and then move up in C. You can also count this as a wave 4, 5 and then a wave either 1 or a wave A, or you know, something corrective structure to the upside. Power of 3 anyway. So if it takes too long, the probabilities of a B go up. Of course, that does mean we want to see proof of support because we are thinking about either a B or we're thinking about a 5. Now, in this case, if price pumps to the downside, if we can get back inside this range and get acceptance back in the range here, then the probabilities increase for a B up. Now, what you do, of course, want to see is that after a B, you want a sharp C up. Most commonly, wave C is a very quick move. Exactly, Abuzni sock. That's right. Smart. So wave C generally is a very quick move to the upside. A, B, C. Wave C is not allowed to be twice the length of A plus B. Well, that won't really be a problem looking at the size of this wave A, no? So wave C, preferably a quick move. In a wave 5, we would like to see continuation. Of course, we can have a bit of a reaction, but you want to lose the range, potentially backtest the range, but not get back in the range, especially regarding the volume profile, right? You don't really want to get back all the way up here. And then for a wave 2 or B, we want to see a 3-wave structure here. Now potentially you have an ABC here, but that has low probabilities now because price took the low here. And if we take a fib time, so if we would be looking for a flat here in an A, a B, and then a wave C, we take a fib time from the beginning of A to the end of B. We double click here, and wave C, oh, I actually don't have that. Wave C is not allowed to be twice the length of wave A plus B, which it is. So that lowers the probabilities for this to be an ABC. Unless this was the low, that would have been okay, but now we made lows over here. So it increases the probabilities this structure is a different structure. It's like not a flat anymore. So we're looking for something else. Unless your flat ended here and this is your W, then you look for an X, then you look for a Y. You're going to be looking for the range to continue. Oh boy, do we not hope that is going to happen, do we? What's up, Flotty, by the way? How you doing? So yeah, we definitely don't look forward to something like this. No, let's see what the CVD is showing us. So we got both. With the low, we got both bullish CVD here, bullish CVD here, bearish CVD here. So you want to definitely, you want the 3-minute time frame. You want to take these highs there. So where's the probabilities? In a bullish scenario, you want a 3-wave structure. You want proof of support, whatever that is for you. RSI, stochastic, candlesticks, whatever, patterns, volume, like something, right? CVD divergences, something that gives us the confidence for a move to the upside, right? That's why I keep checking on CVD as well. That's why we have a bit of bullish CVD. We want to see this high taken. It would be at least a start to invalidate the little bearish CVD we have going on over here, no? So that would be something at least. So zooming out in this range, a lot has like you can talk so long about such a relatively small structure in the bigger scheme of things, no? From an Elliott Wave perspective. So I think that pretty much concludes the local range that I wanted to talk about. Explaining the probabilities for if the high or the low gets taken. Explaining the probabilities of this being the end of a corrective structure, the yes, the no. Explaining the probabilities of Femex taking this low, even though we know other charts didn't, right? But still something to keep in mind. And the 886 touch here on some charts as well, just in case. And our kind patience is being tested. I'm gonna put on a little light, I think. Let's do white. I've got one of those nice like desktop or what is that, screen lights, you know, a screen bar or something. I love it. It provides so much. It's so good for the eyes to have like a light on your screen, like a whatever you call it, a screen light or something. So. We're going to keep an eye on what the chart does. We know what we are looking for. So we are at the value area low at the moment. Very, very, very condensed range. It also shows, just by looking at the volume profile, it truly shows how complex the range is because of the large amount of volume in a very tight space. So we're below the point of control and on top of above the value area low here. So let's observe what price does. Now to the downside, I don't have any levels. Yeah, I mean, I got a daily at the low, but you know, if we do get that low, yeah, there's not much holding price back, I can imagine. So Monday and the weekly point of control are up here. At least this morning. Maybe it moved again because of the point of control moving, but so yeah, and the daily naked point of control has already been hit. What is at least positive so far is that it's not just an absolute banger to the downside, at least not yet. So we still got the bearish CVD divergences. Only on the 3 minutes can we count, or can we see the bullish CVD locally. Also the bearish one, so we want to invalidate that. Which is these highs here, 42,646. So yeah. If I have to like give my feeling a say here, this is of course not Elliott Wave related, or maybe it is because I do Elliott Waves in a way. I just don't like that high. Fuck. I can't. It pisses me off that it's incredibly difficult to count the high as an ending structure. So before we go into chatting, which we will, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the Discord group. What's being chatted here? John, what are you up to? What's your count in the range? Bettina. Oh, that would be a, wait, what's this? Bitstamp 1G. This is a lower one. That's one of the few charts that also has a lower low here. Doesn't look like a great chart actually, with all the breaks in between the candles. It's not that the scenario is invalidated, but you do need to end your wave 2 here. So we need to have a solid sub-degree count of wave 2 there, which of course is difficult. Holy moly. So, and this is where I was chatting here as well with KG. So yeah, it's not too much. Not too much. I don't know. I'm just not a. I can't deny. I'm just not a fan of. Oh lol. There we go. By the way, any of you play Trackmania? Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2? We're talking about 2010 here, eh? Like the old one, not the new one. Come on. I'm just trying to organize my shit here. There we go. So let's observe what happens, right? We're prepared. Some bullish CVDs now. Oh wait, we can see it on the 5-minute as well. Yeah, I don't know, I'm still not a big fan of that high. Let me actually take a screenshot at least. Bloop. Screenshot taken. Battlefield 1, not the new one. Man, I really enjoy Modern Warfare 2, the classic one. I'm just making sure that I quickly post something. If I have to let my feelings do the talking, which is not so much Elliott Wave related per se, I really do not yet like this high of the range. Pardon. I'm on stream. How long are we on stream for now? 1 hour. I'm on stream for 1 hour. So, okay, chat, it's your turn. Boom. What's up? We still didn't invalidate the bearish CVDs, so that's something. You definitely want to, you know, get a bit of a move on. The point of control is at 680 as well. So, and the bearish CVD is did we did, so we did take that high. Oh, okay, no, we don't have bearish CVD now. Patience though. Take the high, probabilities, increase to fill the daily gap. Okay, that's the final message here. Cool. Okay, let's see what you guys are up to. What are your thoughts? You can always share your thoughts in Discord as well. Wait, Nick, are you still here? Nick, you here? You still here? Don't tell me he left. We were talking about when you turn on the stream, usually volatility comes. I was like, don't think so. Now we've been ranging again. Okay, where were we? You have one, but you sold it. You mean the Range Rover Sport? It's a great car. but at least by the looks. Why did you sell it, Albert? Let's watch the initial balance through. I don't make use of the initial balance though. What's up, Wati? Boring price action. Means the alts. Yeah, now that you're trading like 14 alts, no? Looks like they want more shorts for retail traders. They want more shorts, like retail to short, you mean? I mean, look, there's a valid argument to look for shorts in this range here. So, but yeah, we're now in the middle of the range. So, and it's been a very complex structure at the moment. So, you know. Oh man, you really at least want to see a bit of a move, like, else this just becomes a wave C and you're just gonna slowly bleed down again. Arb is nearly I was taken and there's complete 5 ways. At the start of a wave 4, the high was taken. And there is complete 5 ways. What do you mean here? No. Or here. I don't know which part you mean though. Looks like there's no still below the point of control. Doing 2 things at the same time here. SPN and DQ are dumping. I mean, that would add probabilities for Bitcoin to move as well, of course, to the downside. Koen, Rolf Elliot is smiling right now, passing on the legacy. What's up, Kenny? How you doing, man? Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, it would be interesting to have an Elliott Wave conversation with Mr. Elliot, right? Would be an honor. Using his, you can imagine how long it took for him to develop this strategy as well, and how many statistics he needed to confirm the wave structures, and like the incredible amount of work and the respect of him giving it to the rest of the world, right? Sharing his thoughts, at least. Not been in any trade for nearly a week. Am I part of the majority or minority? Yeah, smart thing to do indeed. What's up, product of me? Bitcoin is up and down right now. Yeah, it's up and down, up and down, up and down. Would be nice to see an AI for counting waves. I mean, there are some trading view indicators, but I don't recommend any. All of them are not good. I have not found one indicator that actually counts waves correctly or predicts them correctly. Of course, sometimes they hit, but very often it's I think an indicator in Elliott waves is more about skipping the process of learning Elliott waves. You know, and that's why people use the indicator. They don't want to go into the theory of actually learning Elliott waves, because it is a lot, right? It's a lot. And it's very challenging. It's a lot of theory, and it's not easy, but it's really cool. Once you get in it, you undoubtedly get in the flow of learning everything, and it takes some time, but it's great. It's a journey. It's very difficult to create a shortcut for Elliott waves, and you do have the indicators, but I haven't found one that sometimes, like, you know, especially in difficult structures, that counts correctly. And of course, sometimes they hit, but often they don't, or they're delayed, or it changes in the middle. You know, pretty strong even with the FUD. Yeah. Good afternoon, Bruno. What's up? What's up, chaotic speculator? Are you bearish short term on Bitcoin? I mean, as long as we don't see any strength, then yeah, you know, unrelated to if we like the high or we don't, and if we can count it or we can't, whatever that is, we need to see proof of support. And again, like, yeah, we had a bit of bullish CVD here, have still, but also 3-min bear, and we're below the point of control. So as long as we are not flipping levels here, it doesn't make sense to look for price to move up. We're below the point of control. We are rejecting, you know, at the point of control. Took some liquidity here as well with the wick. You want to see price moving, no? Like, what are we doing here? We go low or high? Opinions. That's a good question, huh? Tata, where did we were? I'm always the only one here in chat who gives you love. Oh man, sorry for that. I still have the itch thing, man. Who gives you love with the emojis? I know you have a like, you should play, Flotte. You should play the game where you click on the mouse a lot and try to get as many clicks in like 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 1 minute. I bet you're gonna be very good. You're very good in that game, undoubtedly. I often watch your streams when my brother is at home. Every time you say CBD, he's laughing. We own CBD cannabis store in Riga, and he tells me that you are talking every time about games and CBD. CBD. You should come to the Netherlands. You will love the Netherlands if he has a cannabis store. Nice that he has a store as well, by the way. I love entrepreneurial like people, right? Yourself included, by the way, as an editor. So big volume when it breaks. Yeah, you can imagine, because of just because of the length of this range and the amount of volume that is condensed in these levels. It's a very tiny, small volume range, and the volume profile is very small as well. There's a lot of volume in a very small area. So yeah, if it breaks, it probably flies, but we remain patient, right? Nothing happens. We still didn't flip even a point of control. Let me go to a 30-minute here, by the way. Looks a little bit better. Would be nice if we get some action though still today. Battlefield 1, yeah. Oh, I played that one though. Do you do Elliott Wave? I posted one in Discord. Did you tag me, Vincent? There's no reason to call a diagonal after an impulse so early, and also never been. No, exactly. I don't like truncations. Very, very rare. Yeah, and also with the high time frame diagonal, the problem for me is it looks very expanding as well. So I'm not yet too big of a fan. Need some more price action for that. That's why I also with the videos now I mainly focus on the right side of the recent high that we made at 49k. So the more local price action, because that will tell us in the end what the price action before was. Calm before the storm. Yeah. Dux Trader, what's up? How you doing? Dusty Gaming, welcome. First time seeing your channel. Thanks for the info. I use different strategy, but I'm trying to expand and look at other things as well. Welcome here, Jabs. How you doing? Good to have you here. Yeah, Elliott Waves. Look, it's I think Elliott Wave. Oh, I'm biased, of course, but there's a reason I eventually got into Elliott Waves. The main reason is that it helps me to read the chart. Now, very often the chart is pretty clear, and sometimes you have these type of ranges, which makes it very difficult. But nonetheless, with Elliott Waves, if you have the knowledge, it gives you much higher probabilities to like trade in the correct direction. Of course, if you're in a very trending environment, you know, you buy up or you buy down or sell down or something. But it's just that once you start reading the chart, I always compare it with reading a book. The moment I open the chart and I look at a new chart, my eyes immediately start counting. I'm immediately looking for the probabilities in an Elliott Wave style. And I think Elliott Waves is very, very beneficial to add to a pool of other confluences. Like I have my target boxes usually, and volume profile, and support resistance, and CVD. And I use Elliott Waves in the mix of other things, like maybe yourself one day as well, where you already use other stuff. You have a different strategy, but you can always implement some rules or some things with regards to Elliott Waves, which can bump up the win rate potentially, or the risk to reward ratio because you're on the right side of the trend, or that sort of stuff. So yeah, I really enjoy Elliott Waves, and I love puzzling. I love thinking about the different possibilities. Sometimes easy, sometimes difficult. I think this is probably one of the more difficult ranges we had in, well, basically the whole impulse to the upside pretty much since 24k. Most of the ranges were quite clear, or we hit the 618 relatively early to invalidate a wave 4, and but yeah, this one is interesting. Someone is trying to push it down though. Yeah, keeps building more bullish CVD. But we're below the value area low now, so leading question mark, What's up, CDMs? How you doing, man? Bobby, hi. How you doing? Do you have any scenario for Bitcoin dumping to 40k? Yes, that would be a wave 5 or a wave B. So specifically, the scenarios that move to the downside would be a wave 5 to the downside. Common target area is here, by the way, between 40.9 and 40.1. The problem I have here is that the only support is the lows. And it very much depends on how you approach the level if it holds. If you're going to do this, we're not expecting it to hold unless we're looking for the ABC. Here you can end a structure on high volume, A, B, C, and back up. So what do we want to look for if we're thinking about price taking this low? The 618. If we're looking for an impulse, we're looking for a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 4 is not allowed to hit the 0.618 from the high of 2 to the low of 3, right? So the 0.618, which one am I going to use? Let's just use this one for now. Turn this off. Tuck, 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 tuck. So the 0.618 would be an invalidation. Now, if price is moving down and we got the first potential 3 waves, or at least if price moves down and hits this area, right, and we make a little bit of a low here, and we get a bit of a bounce, we have to keep our eyes also still on the 0.618, just in case. Because hitting, especially when volume kicks in, we preferably don't hit the 618 anymore till you end the impulse. Because the highest amount of volume is in a wave 3. So then you have a wave 1, 2, 3, high volume, right? And then you pull the fib from the high of 2 to wherever the low is going to be. And preferably all the ranges after the highest volume move at that moment in time are potential 4s for then a wave 5. So if you hit the 618, it decreases probabilities of a wave 4, increases probabilities to move back up, unless you're thinking about a double 1-2 to the downside. But a double 1-2 in a wave 5, at least by the looks of it at the moment, with this then being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that scenario, is not a, and also of this size, 1, 2, 1, 2, you're going to be thinking that's usually wave 3 price action, not really wave 5 price action. Oh, wait, okay. Jabs, what's your opinion? Skywalker. Short term, I think we will trickle down, which I want, and then I'm looking for a bounce around 4,600. That's also one of the lows there. Amir Attar Hosseini. It's wave X or E. E, of course, has to be a triangle, which is a challenge here, because then you have A, B, probably you're counting this as a C, D, and E somewhat, but the problem is that your C is above A, your A, B, C, D, your E is also above A, which is not allowed in a triangle. Even in an expanding triangle, then you want wave B to be below A, and C below B, which D below B, which we also don't have. So I'm not really looking at a triangle here. The X is a possibility, but we've been ranging, of course, for a very long time. So with a wave X, we would then continue ranging as you expect a wave Y after. So we're going to go sideways for another day, pretty much. Jeez. Yeah. 42,500. Yeah, that's pretty much where we are at the moment. Okay, wave basis and motive wave, I see. 42,250, then bounce. Oh, almost there. Skywalker from Ecuador, South America. Welcome. Jeez, it's crazy to think that people from Ecuador, we in the Netherlands we say Ecuador. Was that in English like Ecuador? Is it Ek or Eek or Ecuador? Are watching as well, eh? Like it's just the perspective of someone on the other side of the world is on his phone or computer or iPad watching at the screen, seeing some random Dutch person standing behind his desk talking about a couple of numbers, lines, and letters. Isn't that an interesting perspective? Welcome, Skywalker, man. Good to have you here. On both lines, yes, correct. But we definitely want to flip some local levels as well. Can you post your Elliott Wave template? I don't have... Wait, my template? There's no Elliott Wave template. If you mean my chart link, then it's in the description. So you can check out the link in the description to open my chart, and you can see everything I do. So if I ride high, then you will see this on the chart right now. So everything I do can be seen. So when I work on my counts, you can immediately see what I'm working on, because you're going to see the chart changing all the time. So that gives you a little bit of a heads up in a way. When I'm working on the chart before the updates. So generally in Central European time zone terms, I would analyze the chart between, let's say, 6:30 and 7:30, between 12:30 and 1:30, 12:30 and 1, and then between 6 and 7, 6:30 7:15ish. So yeah, then you probably see stuff changing on the chart because I'm preparing the next video. Because of course the 10-minute update that I post is not just there. I do have to do I have to check at the chart, do some analysis, check the CVD, maybe do some recounting and other stuff, but yeah, I very much enjoy it. So Johnny, oh, what's up, Dux Trader? Watching the stream, working side by side. Good stuff. Good job. Posted a count for the range. I'll check it out. Can you count a wave 1 of this 5 in this move down? A wave 1 of 5 that has potential, yes. But then this is your 2, and you eventually are looking for a bigger 3 down, so you want volume to kick in for sure. So in that case, I'll check your count out in a second, John. So this is like 1, 2, like 4, 5, and then you have your A, your B, your C. So 1, 2, and then you want to start a move to the downside in a wave 3, no? From the high to the low, that's a very shallow wave 2. Very shallow, if that's the case. Didn't hit the 382, but that stuff happens. It just adds to the complexity of this range, if that would be the end of your 2. Both ways are good, exactly. I've stopped my bot, so I'm expecting Bitcoin Friday to fall a lot. Oh, there you go. Mateus is a market maker, everyone. Or as I should say, his bot is. His bot. How do I get that jawline? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just you know, just a normal jawline. No, got it from my birth, I suppose. Doing sports always helps. Israel, not surprising. What do you mean, Shay Hoffman? So either way, if it is up or down, do you think it will be a harsh move? Yes. Initially, when we take a higher low, I would be aware of a potential fake out. However, the probabilities would not at the moment suggest an immediate fake out. Only to the downside, you can have the potential wave B and then a C up. That would be considered a fake out because you grab the liquidity in your B, which usually is a sharp move, zigzag preferably, and then immediately return up in a wave C. So that can be a fake out. But taking the highs, less probabilities of a fake out, more probabilities of continuation. Long term, I'm bullish on Bitcoin, but it could get uglier. Yeah, I agree, Jab. So at the moment, the high we have at 49K for now, as it stands, does not on the medium time frame, doesn't yet have the highest probability of being the end from an Elliott Wave point of view. However, if we are moving down in a wave 5, the probabilities become 50-50. As long as the low at 41.4, no, is that yes? As long as this low here at 41.4 isn't taken, the probabilities are higher for the high to be a 3 or a corrective structure. But if we take the low here, it opens up the possibilities on the medium time frame for either a much longer sideways correction. Wait, let me actually show this as well. So, because I have the scenarios, so I can as well just show them. So with the high, medium time frame stuff. So of course, most bullish is this one. This is your most bullish scenario here, where you're still moving up for a 5, where this is not yet the end, right? Now, preferably in this scenario, of course, you stay above this low here at 41.44, or I should actually say 40.6. And the reason is that you make a higher low and you don't create a 5-wave structure. The moment you have over here 1, 2, 3, 4, and you take the low, then it's kind of confirming a 5-wave move. I don't care if then a 1, 2, 3, or this is your 4 and 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It kind of confirms a 5-wave structure. And that means that the probabilities go kind of to like a 50-50 scenario of this being the high or not. because the move to the downside is then either a wave C, A, or a wave 1 that we are like looking for. Oh wait, I should actually just, so either if we move down now in a wave 5 or impulsively, we're looking for a wave A, wave 1, or a wave C. Wave C is most bullish. A, B, C, you go back up. The move to the upside should be an impulse. Wave A or 1, the move to the upside should be corrective, not an impulse. And then we get a wave C or 3 to the downside. So the moment you go down, we are kind of confirming a 5-wave move, which therefore decreases the probabilities of bullish scenarios and brings it back to 50-50 because of a 5-wave structure, which can be a wave C, wave A, or wave 1. And then the retracement to the upside is what is going to decide the next move. Will we get an impulsive structure up, right? We move down and then we go back up. Is this going to be an impulse? We look for higher. Is this going to be corrective structures? We're going to be looking for lower. Now the move lower can be a wave C or a wave 3. Of course, if we get a wave 3, we got a bit of a thing going on, right? Because then where is that? Is it here? You could have your potential wave C in. The bullish scenarios, if you take this low and price is gonna not reverse in a like this is not a wave C and then you continue up. Your bullish scenario is a double 1-2. However, preferably your wave 2 is ending after the 382 fib time, which is the 24th of February here, and ends between the 05 and the 786. So if price moves down very quickly, we still wanted to see a like bounce up and then eventually get into this area at a later stage. And we have this, which is a bigger wave 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are already inside this area, but not even close to the 382, which for me would be a minimum. I just put the 236 on because I want to know where price is in relation to the 236. But preferably this wave 4 would end after the 382, but we're already inside the price section here. So we're already very deep in a short amount of time, which lowers the probabilities of a wave 4 here. Unless you're going to get a zigzag, right? A, B, C, and this, because either your B has to be very long for your wave C to end after the 236, but as mentioned, preferably we pass the 382. So then you're going to have a W, X, and a Y. Wave Y can end above the low of W. So then you can have a 3 wave in X, then a structure in Y, whatever it is, and up. So you just continue ranging. But you see, the moment the low is taken, we are going to thinking about impulses, which means a C, A, or 1, but the retracement will tell us what it is. And also how quickly, how deep it potentially goes. So we don't yet fully know, of course. Asanov, send me a DM again about this. Jawline is correlated to how much you go to the gym or eat donuts. I suppose like the bone structure is your parents, but how much fat is around the jawline equals donuts versus probably being an active guy in some way. That's correct. That's correct. What can you say about ETH if there's no move in Bitcoin? I mean, ETH is currently probably still ranging around 2500. So it's still finding resistance at the point of control, which is your main area of resistance at Ethereum. You have to get through the point of control at 2612 or something, was it? Yeah, I see. Yeah, a double zigzag, but your wave A needs to be a 5-wave structure. unless you're thinking about a flat, but your wave B is not deep enough. So this is what we spoke about as well, is the W is quite clear. Your X can be here as well, but the wave Y is a pain. You could put your wave A on the lower high here, keep your B and then your C, but your C is not a nice 5-wave structure as well, which is also annoying, no? It's very much a 3-wavy. It's so annoying. This just happens sometimes with Bitcoin as well, man, these ranges. And of course, a double zigzag yeah, you're probably counting this as a flat, I can imagine, because clearly A is not a 5-waver. And we can't have a zigzag in Y with W being a zigzag. So yeah, it's incredibly annoying, of course. Ooh, we got some chatting. One, two, three, four, five. A, B, sharp, C. Still has a possibility as well. Prefer to count this as a corrective pattern. Yes, at the moment, like, the corrective patterns have a higher probability unless price takes the high. Yeah, I also don't allow this is where, you know, depends on what you follow, I suppose. I also don't allow it. Okay. So Ethereum is currently at big resistance, right? So it's the point of control. I think we spoke about it yesterday. I don't go through altcoins. I will only show what I mean. This is your big resistance. We were expecting price to move to the point of control. We now hit it. This is we actually hit it twice now. So this is the level you want to see passed. If you pass this, 3100, but preferably 3280 to 3600 here. Golden pocket, weekly, monthly, value area high. It's a great area with resistance. 786 there as well in the log chart. So that's what's important on ETH, and it's actually look, it's beautifully respected. Insane. What I don't really like for ETH is you have an 886 retracement here. Makes it a bit more difficult to count this as an impulsive structure, because the 886 is a rare target for a wave 2 when you touch the 886. So that would increase probabilities. The move up is a wave C or Y, increasing probabilities for ETH to take the double bottom. It's just probabilities. Arguably, you have a bit of a flat going on here, or this again is a wave A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3. But yeah, probability-wise in the range, this is not great for a 2, increasing probabilities for a double bottom to take the low. Gotta remain patient. Loading. There we go. Also here on Bitcoin, we now hit the 886 now. Yep. Bitcoin loves retesting the golden pocket as well after an 886 touch. That's just like you can see patterns eventually. Like after an 886 is touch and it holds, keep an eye on that golden pocket. The moment it holds, it often moves to the golden pocket and then continues or breaks. In a high time frame cycle, count possible ABC to new bear market lows. What must be happening in the world? Financial crisis, pandemic, maybe a war. I don't know. I'm not a fundamental trader. In my case, it's just a lot of sellers or people getting stopped out. Purely technical. So but that's a different style of trading. I'm sure the fundamental traders will find their reasons to enter, while I find my technical reasons to enter in that case. So it's an interesting question. but I don't follow any news, so it's very difficult to answer, and I wouldn't know what would need to happen for that to become a reality. It would be an interesting discussion point, though. So yeah, like the COVID pandemic was a very nice wave too. On the weekly time frame, you closed on top of the golden pocket. Like the most common target for a wave 2 is the golden pocket. It was brilliant. Yeah, I mean, COVID pandemic, well, wave 2. So it's but every style, that's the beautiful thing, every style of technical analysis or fundamental analysis, it can work as long as you make it work. It should be your strategy. And the book Market Wizards, and I have multiple, like there's different editions. This book shows as well the story of different type of traders, fundamental, technical, a mix of both, and all of these are some of the best traders the world has seen. So yeah, you can have anything. Correct. Yeah, and you want to see proof of support as well if you're looking for a wave C. So, but I don't like this being a wave C because it's too long in time now. It's double the length of A plus B, which really lowers probabilities for a C and a flat. So that increases probabilities of this not being a C at least. Just curious, on the chart with the 5-way pattern, are you like for the 2 to go all the way? If I have any boxes on the chart, then those are the target areas for a count. So yeah, so the green box in that wave 2, that would be the target area for your wave 2 on the time frame. So I think you're talking about this one. This is your target area for 2, yes. After the 382 at least, preferably, and between the 05 and the 786 preferably. So using Elliott Wave knowledge, it gives us an area of interest on the higher time frame, and then based on the lower time frame structures, we can get more accurate, because this is a big area, so we need to get to the lower time frames and get a better idea. But that's why I also love covering 15 minutes. And that's where also a lot changes all the time, except for when you're in such a range. But this is just one of the scenarios, of course, right? So this is, this is one. This is the other as shown. So this is your target area, time preferably after the 382. Area of interest here, right? And then we have the most bullish, but again, lowers in probabilities if we take the lows, because then it becomes 50-50 between bull and bear. Or like bull longer ranges. So basically, if we take the low here, it's pretty much 50-50 between doing this, like bigger range, or doing that. We don't know. We have to wait what the retracement does. Based on the retracement, we can get a better idea. Because of course, the potential for a wave C being in is also there for a macro bearish scenario. But at the moment, as long as we don't see local strong signs, it's too early to call it, because, then we're talking about fear and stuff. To count, no. CVD is not a place to count the waves, unless you use the price action. But the candles on CVD are made from all these platforms merged together. So I do not recommend counting anything, and you can't count here as well. And you don't want to count a line as well. So CVD is not a countable chart. Dao has his troll socks on. Luckily, I know Dao already for a little while here on the channel. else I would start my my typical 6 steps of building your own personal strategy and plan. Why can't we not assume that perhaps we are in a wave 4 of an unfolding A wave? That is a possibility, yes. That's the one that I mentioned here. No, not that one. Here. Like either one AC is in this scenario, in the bullish scenario, if we're looking for this range to be a diagonal ABC, right? We can also have the flat. But just because wave 4 ended before the 5 pip time, there is indeed the possibility, but you definitely want wave 5 to get a move on, that you get a wave 5 to the downside, you finish your wave 5, right? Eventually, targets have been mentioned earlier, and then that can be your A, your 1, or your C. Depending on the move up, corrective or impulsive, we'll get a better idea. But there's no one that can yet say what that move is gonna be, because we have to take it step by step. We have to wait for the reaction. Your favorite pattern? Hell yeah. No. Just fix all the AGGR CVDs, doing some stuff, and then I will be ready to look for the setups tomorrow. Okay, sounds good, Lucas. Do you have now, like, you made like all the CVDs of all the coins you want to check now? Like you're actually, like you're all set up and ready now to track the stats there? Gonna be some long days tracking statistics. I actually think Skywalker that Dow was having a little joke with, do I close my position? Some volume kicks in. Yeah, we are patient, we are nice and waiting. There's literally no sign of support so far. And we took the low, so we invalidated the bullish CVD divergences as well. But yeah, are we surprised? No. We had bearish CVD here on blue. Now that we see it. No? So yeah. Bearish CVDs have now played out. So these are now neutralized. Yeah. Drop screenshots in the Discord BTC tier. It was 5. Okay, I'll make sure to check it in a second. Do you think it's macro bullish? Is it 30303 super cycle? So I think Lucas trolling. First of all, I would recommend checking out the macro high time frame cycle count that I have done, which is on my channel. 10-minute video. It's in the playlist macro and high time frame, where all your questions will be answered. But when we talk about the macro scenarios, then is it 30303 of a super cycle? So I would then be looking for another 1-2 instead of a 30303 on a monthly time frame. And currently, from the 15.4k low, there are not yet any signs we are in a bull market nor a bear market on the macro. The only sign that we have is that price has bounced on the 382 Fibonacci at 24k. And the 382 here is a less common target for a wave 2 and more common for a wave B. Take that as you wish, I suppose. That does increase the probabilities slightly for a wave C up. But the main thing is that I'm not talking about macro bear, macro bull. We go down to 10k, we go up to 100k. What I look for is local weakness or local strengths to confirm a higher time frame scenario. Because just looking at this, it doesn't really tell us anything, right? Yeah, we're in the target area for your C here, right? Potentially a high. Yeah, it sounds everything sounds very bearish, but there's no confirmation yet of this being the case. However, B hitting the 382, right? Common target. In a bullish scenario, you also, well, wait, did not this one. Here, 2 also hit the 382. Less common for 2, more common for B. In a bullish scenario, if you retrace in another 2, I would love to be for it to be a very deep one, because this one was very shallow. So I prefer a very deep one. Again, the 382 is on my chart because it is a target. It's just less common for 2, because 2 commonly retraces between the 05 and the 786. Right, and then we have this one where you can actually see wave 2 with the 382 here for then a bigger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I am just looking at the local price section to confirm the higher time frame scenarios. Now, one of the things that is not yet ideal for this scenario is that price is already in the wave 4 area here after a potential very short move, unless you put wave 3 here and you have a flat potential here, which is then your W or your A, we don't know. Then you're going to get either an X or a B, X and then Y or B, C. That would be an absolute mindfuck for then a move to the upside. So we can't yet talk about 100K, but neither can we talk about 10K. I always love crypto Twitter though. especially the people that are following the, what is that, the plan B model. You know, there's a certain amount of, I guess, it works in some way, even though he changed it like 5 times because the price action didn't work with the model anymore. But that being said, yeah, I'm not a moon boy, neither am I a drama queen. I just trade the price action and look at the price action more locally. So yeah, not really involved with the 100K, 10K thoughts. The moment we get more confirmation, that's the moment when we start to increase or decrease high time frame probabilities. But it's a good question. Roberto Pinto, shorting Bitcoin and ETH. Let's go. Good luck, my friend. Let's go indeed. Dealy Crypto, what's up? How are you doing? Welcome. Let's see what price is doing here actually. Hoppa. Doesn't look strong, no? Does not look strong. What's the best place to get started learning Elliott Waves? I would personally suggest the free sources in the description below the title education. If you unfold it, there's 2 links. There's the bit.ly Elliott Wave detailed and Elliott Wave more information. Start with the detailed. That website is great. It's really good. That's been my favorite website learning everything about Elliott Waves. So I would recommend starting with that one, then jump to the other one if you want more info. And there's also some other websites that you'll easily find online, of course, but start with that. And yeah, if you want more guidance or ask more questions, join Discord. You can always ask any questions in Discord at all times. And then finally, there's the gold membership, which is basically an Elliott Wave course. So many people join gold for like a month. They go through the videos. It's not that much. I don't know, like 10 hours or something. Easily doable in maybe a bit more, easily doable in a month at least. So it's just an Elliott Wave course that people then follow, and then they either go up in diamond, they go to silver, or they quit. But at least they gained some insights and information on how I apply Elliott Waves and all the scenarios. Skywalker Kunst Trading channel. The content on YouTube, I also, especially with my update videos, I always try to explain where I pull fibs from and trend-based fib extensions, and you know, like I try to educate while counting. Yes. New law of the day, that is correct. The volume doesn't line up for the 2023 rise up to be bullish, at least not yet. I think that's something that I wrote in my probabilities in previous high time frame macro videos as well. I had the 382 touch and I had volume. So, of course, the volume in a second wave 2, second wave 1, doesn't have to be high. It's the wave 3 that matters the most. But yeah, so far the volume is the most volume was the pump from 22. What was it? 22 what? 26k or something? Like the most volume was here. This pump. That so far was the highest amount of volume. And in here it's just dead. Yeah, okay, we got a little bit of a spike with probably that was the ETF stuff. But your average volume here is much higher than your average volume here. This is just one peak. So yeah, the volume is, we definitely, of course, but in a wave 1, it's not strange, right, to see volume moving down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then go down and then get the explosion is very normal, because in a wave 1, typically, so the Elliott waves can also be bound to or related to market structure psychology, where the wave 1 is the psychology behind the wave 1 is we're not yet confident of a reversal. This is just another relief rally, not participating, that sort of stuff. But as price moves, people get more confident, probably by the high. Then they move down and for a 2 and then move up. In a double 1 2 1 2, well, then it's just a second wave 1, so volume can be low. But this is of course the first wave of a bigger 3. So yeah, arguably you want to see volume increase, at least if you bounce in a bigger 3. But all these scenarios are very early to talk about, really. None of them yet really stand out. Holy moly, DMs are going crazy here. On Discord. One thing in defense, a model can change because of new data. Yes. Or a model changes because it doesn't reflect the price action anymore. The question is, when do you stop changing it? But I guess it's it's the same as with Elliott waves. You constantly change, adjust, and I do like to keep an eye on his model, and I think for many people it's probably a great thing. It's a great great model as well. I don't follow it myself, but I respect his work and his reputation in the market very much. Yeah. So it would be a very easy way of explaining the movement, the price action movement. Sure, my time to sleep, 10 p.m. here in India. We'll text you. Yo, see ya, Dutch trader. Good night, man. Waiting for the 100. Yeah, that was beautiful. But this is the thing, like that model and what Plan B also mentioned in 2021. It's almost reflecting Moon Boy stuff, like talking about the highest level for Bitcoin is 500k and the medium line was 250k, and then you have some of the Moon Boy YouTubers that were talking about, oh yeah, like easy 500k next, 400k, 200k. Please don't, like. And then we hit 65k, moved down to 30, moved up to 69. The story repeats, moved down to 15. And now we're at 49, and now we're at 42. So it's best to always remain very neutral, very calm, and preferably build your own plan or strategy, and trust yourself more than anyone else. By experience, by collecting data, build a strategy. High time frame, low time frame, doesn't matter. The formula on high time frame bad as Binance offer no fee. I see. Yeah, that's a potential fundamental reason behind the volume. At the moment, not going through the alts, really focusing on Bitcoin here and what it does. The 3-minute bearish CVD played out again, no? This whole grind down, the whole grind from the daily naked point of control, from the high here, has been constant 3 to 5 min bearish CVD divergences all the time. So on the 15, you're like, hey, we got bullish CVD. But then on the 3-minute, you want to see a move that counters the bear CVD, that invalidates them. Else the probabilities are low. Yo, Jose Rodriguez in Telegram, in the general chat on Telegram. Appreciate it, man. Are you still here, Jose? Dropped off a ton, I see. Have you ever heard of Market Cipher? Yes, I have. I do not recommend it. Because you still need to build your own plan. If trading was as easy as buying a red or a green dot, or selling a red dot and buying a green dot, everyone here would be an absolute millionaire. You always need a plan and a strategy. So the only one that gets rich is the guy selling it, not the people using it. The people using it still need to build a strategy around it to make it work for them. The one that developed it has the data, has the experience, has the strategy, has it down to the T. But the people that use it completely new, usually people that are probably unexperienced in the market, think they can get rich quick, get an indicator, buy and sell when the signal says so, but it's just skipping the process. And I very much dislike that behavior. You can't skip the process of becoming a professional or long-term profitable trader. So even if you buy an indicator like Market Cipher, which undoubtedly can work, but you need to make it work. Just like RSI can work, but not if you trade every RSI divergence. You need to look for the context of when RSI works best. Same with CVD, same with MACD, same with the money flow indicator, same with any indicator. You always need to make it work in the context of your plan, your strategy, your behavior, you know. And there are 6 steps that I recommend people to take if they want to become anything close to a long-term professional or profitable trader. There are 6 steps, in my opinion, you have to go through. Like, pretty much have to. So I will explain them shortly here. Okay, step number 1 is try as many free tools as possible. Use the TradingView tools. Use ATAS if you want to go into order flow and that sort of stuff, which is free for crypto, but use the free tools. Start with TradingView. 2 is find your favorites. So by using them and getting experience, find your favorites and build statistics on the tools. What happens if it hits? How big is the bounce? You know, if I would have traded it, where to put the stop and all the, you know, build statistics. Number 3 is combine your favorite tools that have good statistics and then track more statistics of the combination of tools. So now you're starting to build a little strategy because you're combining some tools. You have some rules as well, right? You got some rules based on the statistics of the individual tools that you have. So now you combine them, track more statistics. Then step number 4 is tweak and adjust. Add something, remove something to that combination, right? So leave something out, track the statistics, add something else, track the statistics. And what you're trying to do is improve the statistics. So improving the win rate, improving the risk to reward ratio, improving, what else? You know, stuff, whatever you like to improve. Step number 5 is start trading it with low budget and work on your trading psychology, because you can still have the best strategy in the world, but if psychologically you can't cope with trading, with the chart going against you sometimes, with price hitting your stop loss, and you start revenge trading, and you can have the best strategy, but if your psychology fucks up, you're going to be a losing trader. So step 5 is start slow with a low amount of money, preferably not a demo account, but actual low amount of money, to train your psychology, plus work on your psychology using books. And the one I recommend is The Mental Game of Trading, which I am not affiliated. I don't have an affiliate link or whatnot. So let me actually, wait, let me check my OBS to make sure you can actually see this. That one, Trading in the zone is nothing compared to that one. And then step number 6 is slowly build your portfolio size. So slowly add to your portfolio size with your money to increase your portfolio. But don't go from $100 to 10K, or from 1K to 100K, or 10K to 50K. Build it up slowly because of the psychology. Because getting bigger gains is easy, but getting bigger losses, that is where many people will fuck up. So the moment they think that I have a profitable strategy, I worked on my psychology, I can trade with $100, I'm good. And then they put 10K in, and then they notice, oh shit, 1% of 10K is a lot more than 1% from $100. Oh man, I don't want to lose $100 now with only one trade. And then the psychology kicks in. So what's best is that you slowly increase it, not necessarily 100, 200, but go from 100 to 300, from 300 to 700, 700 to 1K, and then slowly start increasing it till you get to the level, till you get uncomfortable, train a little bit, and then you just slowly go up. It's a long-term game. It's not a get-rich-quick industry, even though I can imagine it has a bit of a reputation for it to be like that. But it's about consistent profitability, a line to the upside, right? A nice line to the upside. That's what we're looking for in our portfolio. And the nice thing about having a plan is that you can trade the same shit on a different day. You just have your plan and strategy, and every new day you just tick off your boxes, and if there's a setup, you trade it, and if there's no setup, you don't trade it. It makes life so easy. And then add some risk management rules, and there you go. You got yourself a trading strategy. So now, after you have that, you're not gonna trade trend lines and CVD and this, and no, you have your combination of tools, which can be trend lines, CVD, patterns, order flow together. But that is your one setup that you look for. So whenever the chart moves outside of your strategy, you're not interested, right? Because if you will trade outside your strategy, you're greedy, fear of missing out, psychology. You're going to get your ass kicked. You're not sticking to your statistics and your plan. Your trading psychology is messing around, right? Unless you build a new plan, so you have to follow the same steps. Unfortunately, as the industry has a reputation of getting rich quick at times, there's not many people willing to put in the work, which is unfortunate, because I do think that a lot of traders that start have they could make something out of this business if they're willing to put in the work instead of looking for the shortcuts. What they always say in business, or wait, this is from this book. Maybe MJ is watching. I'm watching this book now, or I'm reading. MJ DeMarco, that's my favorite author. He has a great one where he says, what industry is the biggest industry in the world? Healthcare, this, that, And he says the biggest industry in the world is the industry of shortcuts. People love shortcuts. They love shortcuts. I want it now, but I don't want to put in the work. And fitness. I want to have a six-pack and a strong body, but I don't want to go to the gym. Yeah, just pop this pill and I'm sure I'm going to get the six-pack. Just go to the doctor and let my fat be taken away. And then 6 months later you go again because you didn't change your habits. You're still eating broodjes frikandellen. So, change your habits and you'll change your life. That's also another quote from one of the books I'm reading. Yeah, so. Well, Douwe, probably when you heard broodje frikandel. That's when you click the like, no? Broodje frikandel is very Dutch, very, very Dutch. It's like a Dutch snack. It's great though. I mean, but you shouldn't eat it all day. It's a great snack. Look for confluence factors. Yes, exactly. Straightway live. That's absolutely correct. So you can use Market Cipher, but I think it's just a waste of money as long as you haven't tried all the free stuff and actually built statistics on it. Because you can get Market Cipher, but you still need to go through the whole process of building a strategy. So it doesn't change the step-by-step process, but you already invested I don't know how many dollars to the guy that you make rich by paying so much money. So you already paid a lot of money up front for an indicator that's not going to make you rich by using green dots, red dots. You still need to go through the whole process of building a strategy. And that's where most people fail. They buy just to look for the dots, but they don't actually implement the strat or build a strategy. And that's unfortunate because they already bought something of like a couple $100 or something. So that's why I recommend to start with the free stuff. It's the same stuff with the memberships on the channel. Like people ask me, where can I learn Elliott Waves? I say, use the free education in the description first. You know, start there. And if you want help, you can check out gold. If you're interested in building a trading plan or use my trading plan, and then diamond is the place. And if you want to have short-term updates, it's silver. But you know, if especially educational wise, yeah, why not try to use the free stuff? And if you want guidance, then you can always join. But at least you've tried, right? You put some steps in it, I suppose. So yeah, you can definitely make Market Cipher work in a strategy, 100%. But that's the keyword, is a strategy. So you still need to develop one. Unfortunately, you already paid a few $100. So yeah, Yanto, those were the 6 steps. Start with a multiple year bear market. It's always a very nice first step. I mean, many people leave the market, of course, and then they come back at all-time high. Hi, Koens, are you not a fan of expanded FIB levels above below 1? Good question, Alexander. So I don't use the expanded FIB levels except for when I look for targets like an expanded flat wave B or a wave 5 or a wave X that takes the high of W. So that's when I do. But so I only stick to really what is important in Elliott Wave. So if we are looking for 4 and 5, I would take a fib from the low to the high, and then I can toggle on my wave 5 target area here as a template, and you know. So then I'd be looking for this area here. So, and that for me would then be expanded, yes. But I don't use the, so I don't use reverse. I think that you can use reverse fibs as well, but I don't use that. I think in the settings. So that's not something that oh here, reverse. Yeah, I never use that. So, and of course we have trend-based fib extensions. So pulling from, you know, beep, that was my alarm. Did you guys, oh, sorry for that. My sound was on, so you may have heard the alarm, which was pretty much on top of the 886 here. So you can get a trend-based fib extension from the high to, let's say, potential low of 1, high of 2, and when you look for wave 3 to the downside now, you're going to be looking for extended targets outside of the range, of course. Yes. Yeah. Are we finally getting some action? Whee! Yeah, there is some bullish divergences, but with this low here, you now hit the 886. So yeah, probabilities to take the low. You do have the bullish CVD here. The 886 is not a great touch, but we also have the golden pocket from the low here to the high, I think, at that level. Whoop, standard. Yeah, so we're now at the bigger golden pocket as well. But what I would like to see is local bullish CVD, not the bigger one anymore, because too much has happened in the range. It's taken too long. So, and we are moving down, but we are moving down with bearish CVDs building on the 3-minute time frame all the time. Here was another example: lower high on price, higher high on blue and on yellow. Here another one: lower high on price, higher high on yellow. Right? It just constantly. So also here on blue, lower high on price. We had a higher high here on the blue line, this peak, right? You can see. So even though on the zoomed out it shows bullish, every move up is constantly being countered by the bearish CVD. So for me to have any bullish bias, I need to see proof of support, which for me often translate in seeing some bullish CVDs as well. So I want to see a move up, a retracement, like a solid move, right? Not like this. I need a solid move up, retracement, and then some CVDs. Holy moly, without seeing any counters. So as long as that's not the case, you know, CVD for me, it's just stacking the bearish ones all the time. So I need to see some local stuff, local proof of support. Luis Rivera, what's up? How you doing, man? From America, Mr. Army. Yannick, last hour. Yep. Sometimes you just gotta say the facts. You know, spit the facts. That's true as well. There's many like free alternatives and trading view stuff as well. Moneyzilla. When trading bullish CVD, I'm struggling to confirm a higher low in price action. Any tips to follow? I suppose if you want to use CVD as a for the first time when you're starting, then I would recommend to use very clear and new highs and lows. So a clear new high or a clear new low, and then use CVD with those type of pivots. Not trying to go in between like all the different things unless you get some experience, but preferably like clean structures. And what was the rest of the question? I'm trying to go a higher low. So yeah, I mean a higher low is of course like higher low, higher low, higher low. Now this higher low played out with bullish CVD. This higher low played out with bullish CVD as well. But you want to have a clear low, like clear structures, clean structures, not like little highs and lows, for example, in here. Right? We want to use like clean moves basically. And I tend to call this like in between highs and lows. They're less relevant than the ones that are clearly visible, preferably on a look, depends on the time scalp. So for scalping, people can, right? If you trade 1-3 minute and you use CVD, this is perfectly fine. But if you go to a 15-minute, you want to see the clear highs and the clear lows. So of course Elliott Waves helps a little bit with reading CVD at times, but yeah, clear highs and clear lows. So for example, if price would turn around here and moves up and then down and potential bullish CVD, then you got yourself a clear low, right? Which is interesting. But because of the weakness on the 3-minute CVD here, I'm not interested in any bullish CVDs here. You want to see local proof of support. Does that answer your question, Moneyzilla? For you know, I mean, confirming a higher low. I guess the best confirmation of a higher low is when you get a bounce to the upside, no? So you get a move down. you get a move down, and then you get a bounce. Or you change market structure. That could be a confirmation as well, right? So market structure, candlestick patterns, volume, more local CVDs. That would be those would be things that you can look for to confirm a potential like bullish CVD, I suppose. Cipher B, I see on Total. It's free. For the ones that want to check it out, it's an indicator. Product of me, wise words. I'm trying every day to put them into practice, but that's what I love to hear. That's what I love to hear. People working on their strategy. Also, is Abusni Sok? Are you still here? Maybe TXM is here. Like Abusni Sok is working on his strategy. TXM in Diamond working on his strategy. You know, like, and more people there as well. Like I love people we're seeing putting in the work. That's what's gonna get them there. You know, what's the target for Bitcoin today? Yeah, I mean it's all probabilities, so we can't have a target, a numeric target, right? We know based on the analysis earlier today, we know that what to look for if price takes the high or the low. That's why I selected the high and the low. But of course, no one knows if price goes up or down. But probability-wise, as long as price is not taking this line, probabilities are higher for a move down. It almost sounds like duh, but the moment you take this high, the probabilities increase to fill the daily gap to the upside, which means 45.5 to 46K, where we also have a target box. Because then we're going to be looking for, where's that scenario? No, here. A or 1, 2 or B, continuation up in a C or a 3. The moment you take this low, things become a bit more complex. Because we could have a bigger 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 wave structure, but this 5 wave structure, by the way, targets here 40.9 to 40.1. Shit, fuck, man, I swear I'm so happy once that thing like itch in my throat is done. Holy moly, it's making me crazy. No headaches, no nausea, I'm not sick at all. It's just like that little like MF in like, it's like a reflex sometimes. So interesting area. But if price moves down here impulsively and we look for a 5, well, a 5 has to be a 5 wave structure, no? So 1, 2, 3, we need another 4 and a 5. So preferably in a wave 5, you are going to be looking for 1, 2, 3, 4 and then a 5. Grab the liquidity, move back up. However, if we don't get a range above 40.1K, at least a bit decent, like a decent range, but it's just a straight line down and hits this level, it's very likely you're going to just range a bit and continue down, unless we look for a B. Now the main difference here to know what's happening, right? In both of these cases, you're looking for a move down. So if price takes this low, we're looking for, in this scenario, wave C, take the liquidity. These are all lows. Probably take the liquidity and then move up in a C. This should be an impulsive move. The moment you hit the 618, which is taken from this high, as that is currently the high here, to wherever the low of B is going to be, the moment you hit the 618, and this move is on volume, you invalidate a wave 4. Because if we're looking for an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 3 has the highest amount of volume. So if this move down has a high amount of volume to the downside, we of course can trade it short, but then we got to be aware of a potential bounce in this area for then another C to the upside, just in case. And if price hits the 618, it invalidates a wave 4. But if this is the highest volume move down, likely this is a 3, so we want to see a 4 and a 5. But the moment this 4 reaches the 618, probabilities are higher for a move up, so we can switch. So that is what to look for when price moves down. So it becomes a bit more complex because there's more scenarios. to the downside. Now the support to the downside, this area here, besides the liquidity that price can take, other than the liquidity here, support is not too amazing. So that's why I also like to talk about this one here. Target box 38.6, 39K. But that is of course an iffy. What I still struggle with in this range is, and we've at the beginning we have covered this range here in a lot of detail. ABC, WXY, WXY, XZ. It's not easy to count this as the end, the high of a range. It increases probabilities to continue ranging. So yeah, we just remain very patient here. And that's why keeping an eye on the high and the low of the range is just recommended. This range has taken a while now. It's been a good range, especially yesterday, right? This over here had a low probability of being the actual end of the range. And we moved down in a three-wave structure as well. So we were looking for price to take the high. We took the high, we hit the daily naked point of control at 43.525, right? Important area that we were looking for since the range started, because after this low, this point of control was on the chart. And we were looking at it being hit. We got a solid rejection, and it's quite a little bit of a grind to the downside. It's so far nothing very impulsive. The only thing is that we constantly have small little bearish CVD divergences all the time. So at the moment it's still neutral. So that's probability wise, as long as price is not taking this high, yeah, it's pretty much patience. I look, I'm not here to, for example, like that's my way of trading as well, but I'm not here to catch every move. I'm here to catch the higher probability ones. And now at the moment in this range, for me, there's not a high probability either side. Need to wait for clarity. The only thing that also in the beginning of the stream we mentioned is this probabilities. Let me actually make this a little smaller. So local, by the way, this already played out, so we don't have to look. We don't have to look at local here, right? That's irrelevant now, because that was about this low. We had bearish CVDs here as well, so I was looking for the low to be taken to observe the reaction, and then we got more bearish CVD. But on a low time frame, that's the reason why I wrote neutral. Now, I don't often write neutral in my probabilities. Usually we have probabilities up or down, upside, downside. But like it says, it remains difficult to end the range here. WXY, ABC, WXY, XZ. However, on Femex, this low has already been taken once with this move to the downside. It is the only chart though, but it's still relevant. The 886 is touched here with a couple of charts as well, which gives a higher probability for it to be a corrective low than an impulsive low. So B or X versus wave 2. Even if we look at a leading diagonal, where the 886 is a potential target for a wave 2 in a leading diagonal, it's still not a common target. And the diagonal is taking relatively long, but it still has potential. It's not invalidated, and neither is the bearish scenario where we're looking for a continuation down. So, but if we are looking for a wave 5 to the downside, of course the analysis also was earlier today, right? So this is like a quick little recap, I suppose. But your wave 1 is very sharp. Usually wave 1 and 5 have a bit of a time and price relationship. This wave 5 is taking its sweet as time, if that's the case. But yeah, very shallow retracement here. Low probabilities for a 2 from the high, from the high to this low for then a potential ABC flat here, not even hitting the 382. And even if I do move it down, you only hit the 382. And the 382 is, again, less common for a wave 2, more common for a wave B if price continues to the downside. So we got to think about that potential scenario, ABC, grab liquidity, move back up. It's something that we have to consider. Proof of support is necessary, right? I'm also not in the business to catch knives. I'm happily not catching a knife, but getting more confidence and more probabilities on my side. I've burned myself a lot in the past trying to catch knives. So, you know, my personal trading strategy is completely designed to never do that again. So, yeah. So it's basically the bearish local CVD divergences. We want to see proof of support locally, else we just go down. Versus this high is not a great high of the range. Great end. It's difficult to end something there. So yeah. But price has shown no strength whatsoever today. So far it's just been a grind to the downside and that's it. It hasn't done anything. Yo, John, you should support this channel, mate. Alexander, that low at 41,600 is so ugly on the daily. You mean this one here or this one? Both, of course, are not great. They're quite big wicks. Subot Nimkar, I think your earlier comment. Oh yeah, I was reading to the Moonboy videos and not your video. No, of course. Get me away. Oh yeah, I missed this. Time felt crypto scam because of such videos. Sorry, Subot, I completely missed it. Yes, of course. Yeah, I know. I know what you mean there. No worries. So, but it attracts, but it can also like make people exit the industry, because that's like, oh yeah, I expected this all along. The only creators on YouTube are this type of, you know, this type of people, like, oh, whatever. Yeah. What is your strategy today? Well, my strategy today is pretty much the same as the past 1.5 years. But that's because I developed my trading strategy for a long period of time based on statistics. So I trade the same strategy every day. And as long as I can check all my boxes, I enter. Sometimes context is important, but yeah. But I just went over a bit of probabilities. So. Elliott Wave related, that is. Honey going live soon on CB. Woo? I don't know. What is Rafael Cruz? Welcome, by the way. Honey, is Honey a person, or do you mean or a TV show? I don't know what Honey is. Besides the food. Hasta la vista. Hi. BTC is a way forward. It's still up from a time perspective. As long as it doesn't take the high, it is. And this high has to be preferably the high of 4, and this is the beginning of an impulse down if that's the case. Because this 4 is now, the high is made just before the 5 fib time, which is okay. But making another high here would lower the probabilities for sure for a wave 4. Increases the probabilities for continuation. Yes. Wyckoff, very interesting. Wyckoff. I always like to see the charts and people using Wyckoff as well. Dawa, need to eat. Let's pause the chart. I know, right? I know. Shucks. It's 6:30. We're online for almost 3 hours. Still got a gold stream coming up as well tonight. It's now 6:30. I still want to go to the gym as well. Yesterday was chest day, by the way. Holy moly. Like, can I feel it this morning? Sure. So especially when you wake up. or last night when I was done in the gym and you tried to get on your jacket and you put your hand in, like, yeah, you can do it, but you definitely feel like you feel the workout. It's good stuff. We are looking for 405 or 105 chart in Discord. Let's have a look there. Yep. Interesting. Some new stuff here, Asanov. I've never heard about this. Interested to read. What's this? Oh, this is the very 3 minute. Let's see. Yeah, a trickle. That's always the most difficult ones. So this is John, right? He's the very, very, very low time frame counter dude. So I agree with the 1-2 here. Yes. Yeah, you can put the blue 3 on this 5. This is where I put it. But you can put it here. A, B. Yeah, this is not a C. So this 3. Yeah, okay. We have a bit of a blank area here. Arguably, yeah, 3, 5, 4, 5. Yeah. And then this is 3, but then you need a WXY or something. And then 5. And then a reversal. Yeah. We're also at the golden pocket now. Golden pocket. And then, yeah. Yeah, I see. For a stream question. You can't have wave 5, or it's very low probabilities. This is a wave 5. Because it's a diagonal. Truncated wave 5 is in general very, very rare. In a diagonal, even more rare, because a diagonal is already not very common. So truncated 5 is very, very rare, and there's arguably not a 5-wave structure in here, while we do have wave 1 being a 5-waver. And wave 1, 3, and 5 need to be the same high. It's not truncated, but it is on my chart. So yeah. Let's check some other charts. Let's have a look here. On the index chart, that's a close one. We wicked above. On, what is this? Is on Binance, we didn't hit it quite clearly there. On Bitstamp, on Bitstamp, we also didn't get it. So it's just for a diagonal, you want to see confluence between the platforms as well, right? If one platform has and the other one hasn't, it's not really what we look for. This one also not. So also not on Bybit. So yeah, I do not like to count it as a diagonal myself. Besides, this is very much a 3-waver, and this is impulsive, but all the waves should be the same. So either an impulse, 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 or a zigzag, zigzag, zigzag in a diagonal. But it's at the moment not really a scenario I look for. I'm working on strategy for 2 years now, mate. My room is full of papers with calculator. I made 100% on calculations. But you're doing good. That's what it takes. You know, building a strategy usually takes years. Yes, I've been on it as well for years now. Of course, it's been already, you know, I'm already trading it for a long time, but I still tweak and adjust and improve it. And now with Diamond, besides in Diamond people trading my strategy as well, many people also track their own statistics, which then, instead of just me, you know, there's more brains, more eyes, which means faster growth of the strat as well. And it's already great. 60 to 75% win rate, 1 to 3 RR. Yeah, not bad. Gonzalo Frade. Any info about the memberships can be seen in the join button below the stream. That is where a video will pop up where I show the different stuff. But that is also where you can go through the process of YouTube, like the membership process. Now we have a small support on the trend line, linking those weeks on the downside. Oh, these wicks. Weeks are wicks here? This one? Bullish CVD. You mean, yeah. I'm looking for bull CVD here locally, right? And then preferably on like higher time frame, because we're very close to having bear CVDs. Oh, we already have here. Go to the 3 minute. Okay, not yet. So far so good. No bearish CVDs here just yet. So, but you definitely want to see a bit of strength. What a range. What's up, Brown Buck? How you doing, man? I'm learning each day from you. Hope one day we'll understand everything you say. I can imagine it's a lot of information, especially for newer people. I try to explain Elliott waves as easy as I can. If people don't understand it, make sure to ask a question. To use your strategy, do I need to be a good Elliott wave counter? Not at all, because there's elements, but you don't need to count. I wanted to make it as easy for myself and as rule-based as I can. So there's no Elliott waves involved, but there's Elliott wave elements inside the whole package of what it is. However, you don't need to know anything about Elliott waves to trade it. Zero. So, yeah. I wanted to leave it's just very strict, very rule based. I took elements of Elliott waves and not the subjective part. So you don't need any knowledge at all. Kunzmas, it looks for a reversal in inverse head and shoulder. Inverse head and shoulder. Oh, here. Like shoulder, head, shoulder, up, trend line, and then go down. Who knows? Good vibes to you all, by the way. Even Mooville back with the green and the red heart. Love to see it. How you doing, man? Is there any scenario to bounce back to 43K? Yes, there is. Like, so first of all, John with the potential count, where he shared a finished fiver, move up, and then a move down. That's what John has in Discord. Let me open it for you. This one. However, as you are looking only for one direction here, I will give you only the one direction you're actually looking for. The most bullish one would be this. We're online for so long, I gotta move my fibs now. This, of course, would be most bullish, which is definitely a scenario that brings you up to 43K. Would even bring you to 46K. So you got 3K bonus. But yes, there are definitely scenarios to bounce to the upside. But what we are looking for is proof of support, some strength. Currently, the whole move down has only seen bearish CVDs all the time with every little bounce. Which basically means, by the way, for people that don't use CVD, is market longs are constantly being absorbed by by limit short positions, which is bearish. So the longs are being absorbed by limit shorts and pushing price down all the time. So you definitely want to see some strength. But yes, there are scenarios. Yes, to test to hit the liquidity. Yeah, and you have the potential power of 3 as well, of course. Range, take liquidity, move back up. That would be a potential flat in Elliott Wave terms. No idea how that 3 moved. Magic. CME gap at 39, yes. And that's also where I have my yellow target box as well for extra support around that area. 38.6, 39K. I think if you do get down here, this is a very likely area where price will find at least a little bit of support. And then we'll take it from there. Being an American, I don't discuss any politics on the stream. So the reason that is so I'm a global keynote speaker as well. So I speak globally across the world. One of the worst things you can do as a keynote speaker is include politics in your story. Unless you're a comedian. But I am not, unfortunately. So I never talk about politics. Everyone can have their preferences. Everyone has their vote. Everyone is free to vote on whoever they want. And yeah, in the Netherlands, we make memes about all the presidents anyway all the time. and now we make memes about our own guy. So yeah, Yeah. To answer the question of Abusni Sok, I'm a global keynote speaker speaking about the gaming and esports industry, usually for bigger conferences and events around the world. So that's me. This is my international agent, Chartwell Speakers. And yeah, that's my profile, no? So that's my background, everyone, for the ones that don't yet know me. My background is the gaming and the esports industry, and that's my own business. So it's like, it's not a job. I mean, I guess you can call it a job, but it's just it's an own business. It's just a selfpreneur, I suppose you can call it, because you are your own business. And agencies, you work with agencies across the globe. Yeah, so the biggest audience I have spoken for so far, live, not online, live, is 900 people when I did a TEDx in Germany. The second biggest audience was last year, that was 530 or 540 people in Amersfoort in the Netherlands, in het Flint Theater, for a school group. And on the 31st of January, I'm going to speak for about 50 classes of schools. Each class has between 20 and 30 kids. So that might actually become the biggest audience online through a webinar. So, 50 classes, 20 to 30 kids per class. It's at least 1,000. So I'll pass the 900. So yeah. it's a great job, or like business, I suppose, because it's, I have a lot of freedom. I'm not stuck to a 9 to 5. It's just my business. Yeah. But man, it's great. You travel, you meet people. It's the best. It's the best. But what I like about providing the update videos as well is that I can use my speaking experience as well as my, I guess, PowerPoint quote unquote experience, very clean sheets, and I can hopefully reflect that in the content, which makes it easy for people to see the scenarios. So there's not 100 lines on the chart, but it's scenario per scenario. Like it's almost, sometimes I compare my 10-minute videos with PowerPoint presentations almost. Medium time frame, bullish, bearish scenario. First the bullish, click it open, show it, talk about it, end it, next scenario, talk about it, next scenario, And then at the end, we have the probabilities, which is the conclusion. It's like the wrap up, and off you go, So it's, every video is basically a small speaking gig in a way. So yeah, maybe that's also why I love making videos in general, because I can use my speaking. And in case you didn't notice, I love to talk. We're already talking here for 3 hours. I haven't shut up in the last 3 hours. Have you backtested your strategy? Oh boy, absolutely. Absolutely, yes. Since 2021, that's when I started. Backtested and then forward tested, yes. Because first I build a lot of statistics on individual tools. I sometimes show the Excel sheets of my statistics that I recorded in the past as well. So a lot of individual tools. Then I found the ones that I prefer and combined them, tweaked, added, removed, built more statistics. And now we're just in the continuous tweaking phase, but it's very small tweaks, and see if we can slowly improve it each time. But yes, it's a lot of data, Probably tracking statistics takes the most amount of time. Like testing out the tools and getting experience, that's one. But then tracking statistics on them, that's what takes a lot of time. But during COVID, as a speaker, I had a lot of time, so I was just no live. Yeah. Is there software which counts waves automatically? Not as far as I know. That is at least coming close to what a human counter can do if you have the skill level for Elliott waves. I haven't found one yet that I can recommend. If there was, I would definitely recommend it. However, I would then recommend it as a tool to teach yourself, not to use it as a trading indicator, because I think the best thing you can do is learning it yourself and build the skill of reading Elliott waves instead of using an indicator. So you don't skip the process of learning, but you actually learn while using the tool. But I haven't come across an indicator yet that I feel is good enough, that is really on point. Baltic Sunday, welcome on this Wednesday. New to the community, I want to say I love your videos. I'm a neurology resident in the States. I've done a lot of schooling and I know a good teacher when I see it. You're a fantastic teacher. Thanks, Baltic Sunday. Appreciate it, man. So you've done a lot of schooling. You mean like as in you were a teacher, or do you mean you've attended or you schooled yourself a lot? In other words, you've like done courses and educational bits and pieces. And I'm a neurology resident. Neurology, I love the field of, my background is medicine. So of course, background gaming, but I was a medical student in the Netherlands. So I did biomedical sciences, the bachelor, for 3 years. And then after 3 years, I did the pre-master of medicine in Nijmegen. And then I moved to Amsterdam to do the master of medicine. I love neurology and cardiology, especially surgery. Do you ever trade above 1% per trade? No. because you never know what happens. And the problem is that if you get a lot of confidence in one setup and you're gonna risk extra, it can also kick you, and you may lose a lot of profits at the same time. I'm very simple. I have one pair, one time frame, one strategy, everything just one, and 1% risk. So even if there's very high probabilities, I just trade data, and my data just 1% risk. I leave emotions out. So for example, if my analysis strongly suggests, then the suggestion is the emotion I put towards the analysis, and I try to leave all of that out. So the strategy I've developed is based on very strict rules that leave out subjectivity. So like, I think, or I want to see, or so it's, or so I it's all statistics. So I indeed stick with 1%. What? Oh yeah, so that's what we spoke about. Skywalker, welcome back. American politics is like a bad reality TV show. I know, right? But it's fun. We made this so I don't know. There's Americans here, right? Have you seen the video from the Netherlands when Trump became president? Because there was a TV show in the Netherlands that made a video about Trump when he became president. It was on national television in the Netherlands, and it went viral. It went off the charts. So if you haven't, I can quickly show you. Probably not run it here live on stream, but at least I can find it for you. Skywalker, as long as there's no proper support, then yeah, we're just bouncing here at the moment. Nothing really. Oh, a little bit of bear CVD, which already played out. Candle move to the downside, but yeah. Now you want to take this high, right? Lower high in price, higher high here on the CVD. So yeah, we definitely need proof of support. Man, I was hoping we got some action today, but Nick, you're to blame. On Telegram we were chatting, and he's like, always when you start the stream, there's volatility. Of course, usually I go live when there's volatility. And I was now like, yeah, New York opens, let's see. But man, but I like chatting, so that's good. Do you know what is CVD? What data is the indicator looking in the background? Yes, it's market orders, right? From a lot of different platforms. So you can go to your indicator, again, go to edit, and you will see I don't want to do it because then one of my lines always removes. Or get, oh man, sorry for that. So go to your CVD, click on the three dots, go to edit, and it shows you the code. And this is where the price comes from as well. And CVD is tracked from many different platforms. And what it actually shows is market buy and market sell orders live. So when the line goes up, it means more buy or like more market buyers in that specific candle. And if there's more sellers, the line goes down. But you can use this to look for absorption. Now, if you want to know all about CVD, I do recommend checking out the CVD video on my channel. If you go to videos, search for CVD, you will find it. And in Discord, I have the Good to Know channel, where I have a one-pager for you with info and explanation a little bit, the link, and my template. So you can check that one out as well. Also, your updates are extremely concise, and with someone who is married with 3 kids and my training, it means a lot. You respect my time and I love you. Thanks, man. Yeah, with the live streams, I definitely do not respect your time because we're live now for 3 hours and 12 minutes, so the VOD viewers are gonna have a little bit of an issue here. But yeah, definitely with the updates, I definitely try to keep it short and concise because I want people to be able to watch it just quickly in between breakfast, maybe quickly during lunch. And I don't want, preferably, I don't want 15 plus minute videos. And I've done a poll in the beginning as well in Discord where most people agreed based on a poll that 10 minutes was the ideal length. So I always try to make my videos around 10 minutes. But yeah, thanks for hanging out here, Baltic Sunday. Did you see the thing about the golden line? I did not. So I'm unfamiliar with that term. Probably an indicator, I can imagine. What's up, Lucian? Do you know stuff about how to use gamification for education? Yes. I mean, gamification really is using gamified elements or gaming elements in non-gaming environments. And one of the models I have is all about the elements of games and how one can use that in different forms of industries. So yeah, I tend to talk about gamification sometimes. It's not the most requested, but it's definitely a theme. Do you have the link of your TED? Just look for my name, you'll find it. The problem with the TED Talk, which is also the reason why it's not pushed, because of, and I have the email still, so if you just look online, is because my microphone was off in the first 6 to 7 minutes. Oh my God, did they make a mistake. So the sound that you hear in the first 6 to 7 minutes is the sound that comes back from the theater to the stage with the mics they had somewhere behind me or whatever it was, because my mic wasn't on, like my thingy on my shirt. So you will see the sound quality is really bad in the beginning, and then only later is it good. So for TEDx, and I was the opening speaker that night. So they didn't know. So I opened the event. Microphone is off. TEDx sends me an email after that they're not going to publish, or it's published, it's on their website, but they're not going to push it or put it on their socials because the quality does not represent their quality, you know, what they stand for, which of course makes complete sense. Unfortunately for me, it's a pain. But you gotta live with it, you know. What can I do? It's just the thing. Yeah. But I spoke to my global agent, and we're currently talking about maybe doing another TEDx. So yeah, it can be fun. Are you looking at altcoins today? No, not at the moment, but I also actually have to go very soon. I have a gold stream coming up. And after that, I want to go to the gym, then dinner, spend some time with my fiance, who's probably traveling home now. I think so, yeah. From Amsterdam. We've been online already for 3 hours and 16 minutes. Be careful, it's bad lol. Absolutely. Yups. Be careful indeed. You were a pro gamer? Yes. I was. So you will find, yeah, you will find a lot of news websites as well, like NOS, Omroep Brabant, and radio, esports charts, esports earnings, LinkedIn, speaking stuff. It's because I'm in the media a lot as well. But yes, I was a professional player in the game Trackmania. So, and I'm the author of the book My Gaming Child in the Netherlands, together with Deirdre Enthoven, a psychologist. So this is me speaking in France. In Paris, that was great. This is from TEDx. France. This was the grand final in the Netherlands against Spam that I won. I respect Spam a lot, though. I don't know if he's watching. That was the closest final I think I've ever had with another driver. The level was insane. I was an ambassador for Acer for many years. Predator, my laptop and my setup here is all Acer Predator as well. You can see I played for Acer as well, right? So, Capgemini, or Society, the daughter company. This was for a big company in the Netherlands, marketing, where I spoke about how to survive in ever-changing environments. This was dinner in Paris with the team. You know, there's many things. I was a television host on ESPN for 4 years. That's that picture. This was in the Netherlands. The Little Big World of Gaming and Esports. Funny stage, no? So yeah, there's a lot of. This is the co-author of the book, Derdre Endhoven. So if you look for only my name instead of the word Trackmania, you'll find even more. This was my old setup at home. Yeah, I still got that hoodie, by the way. So yeah, and there's enough videos online of me playing Trackmania. Wait, I got here. I mean, look. This is 2013, okay? For everyone that looks into the millions nowadays, this is Trackmania 2013, okay? I was happy, okay? I was happy. I'm still happy. I always like to watch your streams, probably asked before. So basically what that means is I was third of the world during the World Cup in 2013. I also participated in 14, 15 and 16. Always ended up in the top 5, top 10, but never beat my first attendance, unfortunately. I always like to watch your streams, probably asked before, but what brought the Elliott Wave theory your interest? The fact that I can read the market. When I look at the chart, I can read it as a book. It's not like, oh, price is here and I'm completely clueless. Of course, if you have your strategy, you just trade your plan. You don't need to know probabilities from an Elliott Wave point of view. But what I really like is have a bit of an idea from an Elliott Wave point of view where price would like to go. And it helps me to read the chart, which gives me a certain amount of confidence that I need. Besides, what I love about Elliott Waves is the relationship to trading psychology as well, because you can see the trading psychology in the waves as well. So yeah. The risk is 1%. Yes, correct. Not the position size. Yes. Undergraduate medical school, now resident. I taught English at Lithuania, so I taught a bit too. I see. Medical school, same industry. Impressive, man. And English in Lithuania. That's really cool. But now you're living in the US, right? So you got a lot of experience as well teaching. Nice. Do you share live trade entries? I mean, yes, I share the setups. If there's a setup and I'm in front of my PC, I share. But so what we focus on is it's not a signal group. It's a educational group. So even if I'm not there, what is nice to see is that in the community, they still know, hey, it's a setup. It's not a setup. Even when I would do something, they know because they studied, they learned, they implemented, they got the strategy. But whenever I'm home and there's a setup, then yes. And in the morning, I always provide a setups update. So basically, before the day starts for me, I basically talk about this is what I'm looking for. Let's see and wait what happens and if we get it. And then if we get it, then I do post the setup. Yes. But sometimes, I'm also trading myself. So at times, it's not always easy to post something at the same time when I should enter. And then, of course, I prefer to enter. So then I first make sure I'm in and I'm trading. And then I put the chart or the setup in the channel, in Discord. But because everyone knows what they need to look for, they don't have to wait for me to say, oh, by the way, there's a setup. Because people are studying, so they know. So it's much more important to learn about... So two things. Diamond, you have my strategy, so people learn that, right? But they also learn about the rules and checkboxes and how to make a strategy. And a big part is also how to develop your own strategy. So there's also people in Diamond that are developing their own strategy and trading their own statistics. And for example, Super Psycho now is going to trade statistics on 14 coins to see, what's up. So yeah, and it's good to see many people, they just know, so they don't need to wait. They know when there's a setup, and that's exactly the goal. Inverse head is left shoulder start January 12th. Oh, wait. Oh, like this. Wait, then this is your left shoulder. Then you get your head, right shoulder, something like this, then I suppose. Here. Any bots or copy trades apps that anyone recommends? Not as far as I know. Why does CVD just use futures, never spot? You can use spot CVD if you want. But I got used to reading the CVDs that I have, so I never got into other CVDs, because every CVD moves a little bit different. Yeah, we're currently checking. What games, Trackmania? Candy Crush. I'm a professional Candy Crush player. Beoweld. Hey guys, have you seen the video of the Tetris guy that broke the game at level 157? Yeah, that's impressive, eh? He that's the first time ever in like 20 or 30 years that someone managed to reach it and actually broke the game. F1 pro gamer, that's cool. I mean, if you are, because Trackmania is not Formula 1. It's not a sim racing game, but it is a racing game, yes. You chart well and chart well. Thank you for your time. I learned quite a bit. Pleasure, a product of me. Looks like 5 min 4 at the moment. Here, you mean away for Dawa? Did you raise Max Verstappen? No, but I have spoken to Max online because I know the team, his team. And when I was with Porsche in 2020, end of 2019, begin 2020, because we were working on a campaign. I was working on a campaign with Porsche, which was a campaign about sim racing as well. And that is where Max was also included because of his team. Namaste. Glad to learn about your background, see all your success. Yeah, pleasure. It's, look, everything is online anyway. If people want to know, they want to know. So I'm a very transparent guy in that perspective, which is also what I do as a speaker. So, yeah. Live again? No, live still. 3 hours, 27 minutes. What kind of tracks do you prefer in Trackmania? Technical? Well, I'm a pretty all-round player, but the World Championships and the tournaments are always technical tracks. So I do have a preference for technical tracks over full speed. But I also like trial tracks, like finding the route, RPG tracks is really fun, like playing a storyline. But I tend to divert to technicals, minis. Yeah. Do you enjoy Gran Turismo movie? I mean, look, I think it's a fun movie, but I always hate the fact that they can't mimic the steering input of the driver with the actual car, and that when they film the track and the dude driving in Le Mans, they forward the speed of the cars by 2x. So they drive like, I don't know, 50 kilometers an hour, but they put it like on like the video that they record is put on 2x speed. So it looks like they go faster, which of course is stupid. Then they used the Red Bull ring and the Hungaro ring they used the Hungaro ring instead of Le Mans. They used some bits and pieces of Le Mans, but they used a lot of Hungaro ring, which is stupid because it was filmed like it was Le Mans, but it wasn't. But I think the thing that I meant with the increased speed was very, very well. You could see it during the Red Bull ring scene, where the cars in the middle of the Red Bull ring, where you have the sharp corners, right? Sector 2, no? They went through the corners the same speed as the cars were going on the straight. I can't. It's so annoying to see them not actually having a real race. I don't care if they race each other. Like, of course, it shouldn't be a real race. It's still acting. But put people in the car that we don't see that can actually race and show us the real shit. Not the let me 2x the part of the video here and act like they go fast, because they don't. And then when the guy is sitting behind his wheel and he does this and the car goes straight, mate, I can't. Like, this is like where it annoys me. But the movie is fun if you don't pay attention to these things. But it is an annoying movie as a race gamer. So yeah. But okay, it's a fun movie. I really liked the like how he went from the sim into the car, and in the sim, like the graphics and stuff. I think that was really cool. Just played a bit of ESL in the old days. Wow, the old days, good stuff. ESL online events, yo. Have you ever done speed runs? I mean, Trackmania is basically all around setting your fastest times as well, but it's not usually regarded as a real speedrunning game. So I haven't really done the official speedrun titles, but now we're talking about it. By the way, everyone, games done quick, eh? It's live. This is for me, this is the speedrunning event of the year. Fuck, I love games done quick. So this is all about speedrunning. It started on Sunday till Saturday. Here you go. Like, oh well, basically Sunday morning. And they speedrun so many games. So I can definitely, it's a live stream on Twitch. I can definitely recommend. It's awesome. You see the craziest stuff. No FPS or shooters? Yes, I played them but for fun. Especially Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I no-live that game. I still have it on my PC as well. I also have Counter-Strike. But I still love Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. The old school game, man. 2010, 11. The Tetris guy should help out Flotty, exactly. Make him click even harder. The 13-year-old kid, yes. He dedicated the win to his father that passed away. Oh, that's sad to hear. At least he made it. Yeah. Yeah, it was a very big achievement. Did you play Modern Warfare 2? Or Modern Warfare 2. Yes. I still have it on my computer, by the way. I mean, hello? Yes, he has. Yeah. We old school. How can I get to Discord and see other people's ideas? Because I like the idea of sharing option. No. Discord is public. Anyone can join Discord if you want to join Discord. The link is in the description, but sometimes people get auto-banned because of the protection we have against scammers. Usually, so that is here, George Williams. Look, Ben Elker. Why do I not see these people? Oh, look, this was another one. Yeah, motherfucker. So many people get auto banned because of the detection of Discord, but we also have a rule that you can only join if your account is 3 days old. Wanna Cap, what's up? Mark Dutch, where can I get my car for an APK? And Google send me here. And that's exactly the right place to be for an APK queuing. Let's play Warzone. The Modern Warfare I have is the old school. There's no Warzone there. That's like TDM, Demolition, you know, Domination, those type of game modes. Yeah. Old school, old school. Nothing could beat the UMP or the ACR. Exactly. ACR was like a straight line. UMP was no life, and then you had the intervention and the barrette as well as with the snipers. On my other YouTube channel, which is my gaming channel, I still have some gaming clips and stuff as well. Wow, that's funny. Wait. By the way, for everyone joining, the analysis was earlier. We're like at the end now. Koens. Oh, it's just Koens. Okay, well that helps. This was my old gaming channel. Last video is ages ago, and I did a bungee jump. Yeah, there you go. And then if you go to I must be able to. No, I don't know. I have like these small kill cams. Wait. Sniping. Oh yeah, like these. I only have a few of these. Not many. Your sound is off, which is good. So you don't have to don't have to hear it. It's a bit slow because of the live stream. So mind the internet connection here. Wait, I mean so Afghan. So two kills in the kill cam. Yeah, man, good times. Fuck, I love that. So is this PA down an A, or can the PA down to 42.8 be an impulse wave? No large impulsive candles, but it can. Yeah, so the impulsivity is, so this is a bit of a theme here where your wave 1 is very sharp, your wave 5 is potentially very slow. However, preferably, because wave 1 is very sharp, wave 5 has a little bit of action as well. There is a possibility of counting this as a 5-wave structure, and there's definitely continuously bearish CVDs going on again here as well. Lower high on price, higher high on the CVD. So, and also locally lower high on price, higher high on the CVD. So there's definitely a probability of a move down in an impulse. But it's so far, of course, a very slow grind. And in this range, as long as we don't see local support without the damn bearish CVD divergences, instead get some bullish ones as well, get a bit of a bounce, bull CVD, we just trickle down slowly. And if we take this high here at 43,569, nice, then we could be looking for a move up, because we're going to enter the daily gap for this third time, which increases probabilities to then fill the gap to the upside and move to the 45,500, 46K area. But we're not there. Instead, we're just slowly going down on the 3-minute. So a lot of patience, like Tom says, is definitely necessary here, because from an Elliott Wave point of view, right, I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, it is very difficult to end the range here. WXY, ABC, WXYXZ. None of the structures look nice, and sometimes that's what the chart gives. It's very difficult to end the correction at this high, but at the moment we do not see any strength on the 3-5 minute time frame, it's just bear CVD, bear CVD, bear CVD all the time. Longs being absorbed. So what you're gonna want to see is some proof of support, some proof that price is gonna move back towards the upside, at least a bit of a bounce. Maybe you are using yourself RSI, MACD, CVD, whatever it is, right? But you're going to be looking for price to you know, then get at least a bit of a move to the upside. But so far we haven't seen proof of support. And in this range, I don't like to front run the probabilities with up or down. The only thing I say is I'm not happy with this high because it's very difficult to count this as a nice corrective high. But at the same time, from a bearish point of view, we don't have any strength so far with this move to the downside. This low has been taken on the FEMEX chart, which is only one chart, but it's still interesting. This was an 886 bounce on some other charts as well, which increases the probabilities of a corrective structure. Now, in a leading diagonal, the 886, 786 area is fine, so you know that's okay. But you definitely want to see strength of support. This is the bullish scenario, right? And then we look for a C or 3. Take this high, of course, we probabilities increase to fill the gap. We now hit the golden pocket, and it's a very slow move down. And especially if price is going to take this high again, it lowers the probabilities for a wave 4, because then wave 4 is going to be incredibly long, which lowers the probabilities for, if we take the high, another 5 down. So that would increase probabilities that this is your 5-wave structure. Or you have an ABC down, but we'll figure that out at that time. So that is why I keep an eye on the 2 lines that I have on my chart here, as these are by far most relevant at the moment. And that's why in the probabilities I wrote neutral on the low time frame. I should remove local, because this already played out. We took the low bearish, that was correct, but on here I just have neutral. But for a wave 5, I do want it, or like it, to be a bit quick. Wave 1 is so short, so if you get a very long wave 5, I mean, look how 3 is very quick, that's okay, but I don't like wave 5 to be too long. That increases probability. If this all takes way too long, it just increases probabilities to go up and take the high, which in combination then with this being difficult to count as the end of a corrective structure, it could work nicely. But we don't have any support. There's like no proof of support. It just keeps going down on bearish CVDs. And again here, you still have bearish CVD. So you wanna invalidate the bearish CVDs, which at the whole time we haven't. Yeah, we got a bit of a push here, and then price moves down, and then again bearish CVD we're seeing. Lower high on the chart, higher high on blue. It's yes, you have a bit of bullish CVD, but you constantly have the small bearish ones, and this needs to change, else it doesn't make sense. And yeah, I am not interested in, from an Elliott Wave point of view, to do anything here, because it's got to be very patient to get more probabilities to one side or the other. Yeah. Pleasure, I guess, Bon. It's like watching paint dry. Exactly. Yeah, Warner, everything good here. Nice stream, but I am gonna wrap it up very soon. My fiance just came home, so I'll quickly say hi as well. And then I have to go live for gold, answer some questions and giving some feedback, which is always great fun as well. So UMP goated, I know. With the silencer, eh? Cold blood, silencer. Oh yeah. Looking for this New York session PA. Yeah, it's just a grind. Thanks for the stream. Pleasure, Tom. Thanks for being here as well. Stopping power, yes. Or cold blood, like either or. But with stopping power, it's very quick, easy kills. Rocket League, yes, I played a lot of Rocket League as well. Showing your age, 31. Oh, did it show my age somewhere? If so, then hello. My name is Koen, I'm 31 years old. My birthday is on the 24th of September. I will be turning 32. What are we gonna do when it hits my birthday on, like, I gotta do a live stream. We'll see. We'll see. I love playing Rocket League. Yeah. It's a great game. Quick scoping, yes. The good old times though, I'm not sure if I can still quick scope. What's up, Alex? How you doing, man? Alex is a guy that did a 9-hour live stream on his channel the other day. 9 hours. Respect. ETH bounce. So for ETH, for me here, mentioned this. Oh wait, let me actually use the other chart. So I did check ETH very quickly, but I don't need a count for this to put it on the chart. So we retested the point of control on the weekly time frame, right? Value area low, point of control, value area high, big resistance. That's where we are now. And then locally, if we look for upside, we want to see impulsive structures. But if this is your low, this low here hit the 886. And if this is a 1, 2, and you look for a wave 3 up, the 886 bounce is low probabilities for a 2, high probabilities for a wave B or a wave X, increasing the probabilities to take the double bottom on ETH at a given moment. Now, potentially you have a flat here, could be a W, X, and then a wave Y or something, right? And then a zigzag in Y. This can, of course, also be a wave A or 1, 2 or B, C or 3. The probabilities would suggest to take this low. If you can flip this weekly level on the high time frame, of course not on the 15, but if you can flip it on a daily, then probabilities are for me high to, yeah, the red line is a bit of resistance, but especially 32A to 36. That is the big next level for me on ETH there. I got 10th prestige, everything unlocked the first game I played on. That shit with the hackers, right? Yeah. Horrible. But yeah, it happens. At least you can play with nice skins and stuff. But the purpose of the game, of course, when you try to unlock stuff is nice. Yeah. Are you using order flow, Alex? Or TPO? As well. Strong high, love you all Dutch. Good stream, rest well. Thanks, Tom. Make us some cupcakes. I'll make you some cupcakes. Waiting for a move down on Bitcoin. Nothing is happening. I know. We've been live for the past almost 4 hours. Do you know Itchy Boots from Netherlands? He's a moto traveler. I don't actually. I don't. Of course, I drive motorbikes as well. But I don't watch too much motorbike content per se online, gotta say. Okay, everyone. I gotta wrap it up because I gotta slowly start up for gold as well. And my fiance came home, and of course I quickly want to say hi as well. So yeah, it's been an interesting afternoon. Where not too much happened on the chart, but everyone, thanks for being here, and trade safe in this range as well. You know what I'm looking for throughout the stream. There were a couple of moments where I kind of like summarized or analyzed. So what I will do, probably not tonight, but then tomorrow, is put timestamps in this video for the analysis bits and pieces, so that if you would come back to the stream, at least you know the analysis part. However, it's only 12 hours till I upload another Bitcoin update video, which is just, of course, a normal update. So just a 10-minute update. And yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow if anything happens. So today I uploaded the morning update, the afternoon update. So 7 a.m., 1 p.m. there was an update. Then we went live in the afternoon. Now we are still live, so that is a nice 3 pieces of content day, as I always like to see. And then tomorrow morning, 7 to 8 a.m. Central European time, I'll upload the new update. So let's see if anything changes on the chart, right, overnight. We'll see. But thanks everyone for being here. Appreciate you guys spending some time with me this afternoon on the Wednesday. And John, go to bed. It's time. It's time. He's always awake, eh? Always awake, not sleeping. Trying to catch the move, maybe. Trying to catch the move. Okay, everyone. We will be chatting. And John, thanks for hanging out here as well. Appreciate it. George, Azanov, Mark, Skywalker, Chaotic, everyone involved. Tom, Alex. Cheers. See you at the next one.